rundown of who your character is, what they are, what they look like. And then at some point I'll do another video with everybody so they can get more detailed into their characters and stuff, especially since we don't have any video and it's just the overlay. You guys will notice that the overlay is on for the thing. So if you want, it would actually be better if you guys change your Discord art out for your character art, it'll actually show up. It's tiny. I don't know that it'll really make a difference, to be honest, if people will really see it or not. But don't worry about it for the stream. But we can go through that. And like I said, we'll do a separate video. But I'm gonna do this like a real, like I'm actually gonna set everything up like it's like a real stream and all that stuff. You guys will see. And I just wanted to get that up before I started. Anybody have any questions though?
What is the link for the stream? Because the one that was in the chat doesn't seem to lead anywhere.
Oh, it's there's a so if you go to that one, you should be able to back out into the bigger one, but let me get it. I can get you one too. Hold on. That one probably goes to a specific video, but here, let me get you the overall. All right. Before we get on the stream, I'll give you a small example of what I mean too, so you guys can see things. And I'll give you the differences and the overlays and stuff so you get used to that too. All right, so it looks like this is the link. I'm gonna put it in Discord. Group A. So that's the main link, and let me get everything started. Let's make sure my computer doesn't melt down when I start this. So, um,
Yeah, it should be fun.
okay. All right, this is just going to be the test stream. I'm actually going to close the stream and start it again and delete this. But let me know when you guys can see the stream is starting thing. Should be any second now. Oh, the other thing I need to do too is let me God. Oh my God, let me do this. Jesus, this is gonna suck. I need to. So I'm going to be streaming Elden Ring. Remember, in the lowest quality. Do not click on the like. Just click on it to listen to it. Don't actually watch it in this. It's terrible. Um.
Because I'm gonna be the one playing the game, I'm gonna have the stream open, but
Yep.
not the Discord stream.
That's right. Yep. Perfect. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yep. All right. You can see this in Discord too, but everybody can see the stream now, right? It's live, correct? Showing live to me. You're gonna have to refresh. You have to refresh it and go to the live. It shows up for me.
I'm on the Arixia channel, and the only thing I see is the introduction.
Yeah, same.
Same.
There's no live video right now. I think Chris's computer might be melting.
Hold on one second. It's probably bandwidth. Yeah, it's bandwidth. It's just taking me a second to get up. I have a 100 gigabyte web page open on top of this, so hold on one second. Yeah, getting into YouTube is a mistake. Hold on. Okay.
So I just got kicked out of the remote play. That's not a good sign.
Chris, you still there?
I think his computer is currently setting itself on fire.
Uh-oh. I wonder if this is because he has Tailspire and remote play open.
Maybe. So, how has everybody's day been?
Pretty dull, but
Yeah.
fine.
Anybody do Mother's Day stuff?
Yeah, in the
I
morning.
texted my mom.
I did that yesterday.
Why?
I also texted Amber's mom.
What did
Oh,
you
you did
text
too?
Amber's mom? John!
Did my mom send you the picture of her swimming with the sea turtle too?
That sounds like fun.
Honestly, I'm
It
happy
does. I'd
for
be
her.
jealous.
Yeah, I'm jealous too.
Yeah, that's one of the pictures that she sent today. Since they're back stateside, sent a picture of herself swimming with a sea turtle.
That sounds like so much fun.
I don't know. Slime.
Swimming with
I
sea
think this is
turtles?
Yeah, I feel like a sea turtle would be slimy.
Why would a sea turtle be slimy?
It's not
Why
slime,
would it-
it's mucus!
Why
Turtle-
wouldn't it be
turtle
slimy?
goo.
Why would a turtle be slimy?
Turtles aren't really slimy. It's sort of like the rest of the reptilian thing where they're covered in a biofilm.
I thought it was wax. Isn't that where they get turtle wax from? They have to harvest it from the
I will
turtle?
shoot you.
It's on film. We're recording this.
The shooting is
Are
gonna
you?
be too.
It's dead.
Well, with all that testing, we still broke Chris.
I don't think we tested with Tailspire.
I don't think we tested it saying that we all texted Amber's mom. I think that's what broke it.
Welcome back, Chris.
That is not what broke it.
Is Chris talking? I can't hear him.
Not yet.
I have not been hearing any noises of people leaving and joining calls. I stopped getting the notification
Yeah.
sound. Oh wait.
Yeah, it's weird. It's Discord. It's 100% Discord. I'm trying to figure it out right now. Discord literally is sharing all of our. It's actually collectively trying to probably look into everyone's screen right now on top of it. Discord's such a piece of Jesus. I don't know why it's doing this. Give me 1 second. Discord, yeah, it's so funny. Nothing is actually locked up on my machine or anything. Discord, as soon as we started streaming, tried to literally take 50 gigs worth of bandwidth. It looks like it's probably doing that to everyone in the channel too. This is so strange. But give me 1 second. Can you see the stream? Can anyone actually see the stream?
Not to be mean to anybody else, I don't know that most of the people in this channel can handle 50 gigs worth of bandwidth from Discord. I don't think it's doing it to everybody else.
It's not doing it to me.
No, not to me either.
The
It
stream is still
shows.
not up.
Yeah, it's weird. It shows on my side. It shows Discord pegging everybody, which is super strange. But let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I stop the service. Let me see if I go through it. Hold on. So let's see. I bet if I do this. So go ahead and see if you can look at it again, my stream, and let's see if it goes up without using the Discord stuff.
Chris, did you hear me say that I got kicked out of the remote play?
Oh yeah, no, I know. I kicked you out. Sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna put you back in. I'm gonna put you back in a second.
Stream's still not up.
I can get to it from my laptop right now, but let's see. Yeah, it says live. Um, it says 60 frames per second. I'm only sending on my stream. It's only 17,000 kilobits. when you go to the stream too, you have to sometimes what it is, it's just the channels, but you actually have to go to the live section or the video section and then it will pop up. It doesn't actually automatic, it's a YouTube thing. It's like a bug. Until I put actual
Oh.
like things there. Yeah, until I put actual things there, it won't be there, but I can see it from my laptop. Can you
Now
guys
I
see
got
it?
it.
Yeah. It's because it's there. So everyone, if you have to go back to like the videos and there's like live videos, it won't just automatically show up. It's a thing with YouTube. The thing is though, I saw it there the whole time. Let's see. All right. I will put you back in a second, Amanda. All right. I
Your Discord stream went down too.
No, I know. I took that. So the Discord stream is actually what caused our problem, unfortunately. That's why I was trying to figure out like how to kill this without going through it. Let me try putting the Discord. It also might just be the remote place. Let me try putting the Discord stream on, and then we'll put the remote play on and see what happens. So, because I've definitely had this up with like 9 people in it and it was fine, but Discord is weird. All right, so there's the Discord stream. All right, everything's still good. Can everyone though right now see the YouTube link?
Yep,
Yep.
and I see stream is starting.
Yeah, perfect. I even get the subscriber things and everything, so I know that's working. All right. It might be that it freaks out with remote play, Amanda. The weird thing is I've done this several times, so hold on, let me see. Let me send it again. Or you know what it also might be, you know what? This is a weird thing, but try this. Actually take down YouTube. I just want to see something. Take
Like
down
as a
YouTube like
corporation?
no, just take it down off your browser. Like
So
completely exit
close out
of
of the
it.
stream?
Yep, close out of
Okay.
the stream, and then I'm gonna send you this remote play invite, and let's see if it's like super creepy. Discord is a very, just so you guys know, Discord's a super creepy application. It actually does have direct access into your DirectX layer, meaning that it can actually see what's on your screen. It's super strange. But hold on. All right. Let's try that. Yeah, if anyone has a better alternative, I'm all ears. If anyone has something better than Discord to like do this kind of stuff, I would love to use it. So, all right. Hold
Let's go
on,
to
let's see.
an AIM chat room.
Let's see.
Those don't exist anymore.
They do in my memories.
All right. You know what's so I know you're in, Amanda. I just can't see the. Oh, there it is. Here's the controllers. Okay, so you do. I'm gonna take the thing. I'm gonna take your thing off and see if that was the problem. All right. So that looks good. That does look good. And we're still at 60 frames per second on the stream. It's still like very low. Yeah. I think it really was Discord like trying to basically spy on everyone, which sucks. And the reason why it stopped me is because I'm the proxy to that, because I'm the one that's taking all the information out through streaming. All right. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna. So here's the real test. I'm gonna end the stream because obviously we can't use this content, and then I'll start it again, and we'll see if Discord does the same thing. Before I do that, though, Amanda, make sure you can move the screen. I'm gonna go back to it so you can actually control it. It's gonna be a little, yeah. It's
Yeah,
even
it's
there.
very
We go.
choppy right now.
Yeah. It's going to be, yeah. Give it a second. Let's see if it gets back to it, and then we'll go from there. And just make sure you can actually move it. Okay. I see you moving it a little bit.
Yeah, it's still pretty choppy, but it's almost connected.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll give it a second. And then let me actually go to a live scene on my thing too, so you guys can see what's going on. So hold on. That's me. All right, so I'm gonna bring it back. All right, this is me moving it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's running at 100 and something frames per second, so that's good. All right.
Okay, all set.
Okay, so um, this is another. Here, let me try one more thing. Let's make sure it's not like a bandwidth issue in my machine. So here, let's do this. All right. It's just going to take a second. I'm going to see if I can transition through the other pieces. Chrome is always like a crappy thing to open up too, but hold on, let me see if I can do it with this. All right. All right, cool. Let's see if this actually works. There's going to be a bit of a delay. It's going to be like a 3 to 5 second delay once I get this up, but just give me 1 second. All right. And then if this works, we'll start again and get everything up, and I'll do them in the opposite order. We'll see. Okay. All right. In a second, you're going to see a very intense 3D model of a medieval pastry. This is actually a real like honey cake that someone recreated.
Where is
From-
this pastry?
You won't be able to see it. You'd have to go back to the stream, but
Oh,
people on
okay.
the stream will be able to see this. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna go in the stream, so somebody just take a screenshot and send it to me or something.
It looks delicious.
Looks
Okay,
very
so you guys can see it. Yeah, and this is running at 100 frames per second too. It's unfortunate we didn't finish the model there. That's fine. But so all this works. Yeah, this is 100% working, and this is the most intensive portion actually. So this is good. So hold on 1 second. Did it go away?
Not yet.
Okay. Oh, that's because I did the wrong hotkey. All right. Let's just, yeah. So I'm just going back to my desktop so you can see it, and that will not work. It's got to go this way. All right, that's fine. I'll fix that later. Okay, so yeah, if that works, everything should definitely work. Okay, so we're all good. So, but that's what I meant. Like I have models for like so much shit. I'm kind of crazy. That said, if that works, everything else should work. So let's do this. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. And then I'm going to start it again. I'm gonna keep your control up, Amanda, so that won't go down. And then what everyone will have to do is you'll just have to go back and refresh or whatever. And then we'll go from there. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna end the stream now. All right, it's ended. And then I'm going to go live. All right. I'm going to go live in 10 seconds. I'm going to wait dead silence 10 seconds. I'll do the introduction and then we'll start playing and hopefully this works. If it doesn't, it's fine. We'll just power through it. This will just be a messy session and I'll figure this out in the coming sessions. But
So you want all of us to be dead silent until you finish the introduction?
yeah, just because what I'll do is it'll be dead silence. There'll be 10 seconds. because I'm gonna wait for you guys to actually get on the stream.
Mm.
It's like a 10-second like delay in the beginning, and then I'm just gonna quickly do the introduction, and then I'm gonna have everyone introduce their characters. After that, feel free to let me know if you can't see the stream, but otherwise I'm gonna assume you can see it. Obviously, Amanda, you're just looking at it through my desktop, so
I
um,
do actually have the stream open on my phone.
okay, awesome, cool. That's perfect. All right, cool. All right, I'm going to start this and then I'll have you guys introduce your characters. Feel free to say whatever you want. The most important things is like what they look like, kind of stuff. And you can do like simple backstory stuff and then we'll go from there. All right. All right, I'm going to start now. It's taking a second, so give me 1 second. It's fucking Discord, Jesus. All right, I'm fixing it right now. All right, so after I hit this button, nobody's in seconds. So going live now. Hi everybody, and welcome to our D&D stream. We're going to try something a little different. We're actually using a 3D program, a game that most people are familiar with, Elden Ring, as our visual map in the game. What that means is that I have highly modified Elden Ring. We don't use any of the lore, which is going to be really confusing, I think, for most people in the beginning. But essentially, everything that you see if you played Elden Ring, it's something else. It's just something in my D&D campaign. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let everyone in my group introduce themselves. I do have 3 groups. The group that's playing, this is the first group they've been playing the longest in a campaign that ties into this setting. And let's get on the list. Peter, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your character, what they look like, all that stuff.
I am Peter, and I am playing a deep gnome conjuration wizard named Clip. Classic deep gnome with dark bluish grayish skin. He often likes to wear green robes because he's spent a lot of his life book learning and trying to be a wizard, and has never had a bad influence in his life except for possibly Lillian.
Awesome. Let's do Ector next, John.
I'm John. I play Ector, the bland human roguish fighter, raised by dwarves, now acting as the usual giddy, happy-go-lucky, shadowy element of the party. My best buddy Styx, taking on the world together.
All right. Amanda, Lillian?
I'm playing Lillian, a halfling divination wizard. He is the small, young spitfire of the group. He has pink hair, pink eyes, wears a backpack that's probably about 20 times the size that he is, and he is absolutely a bad influence, but he's going to pretend otherwise for as long as possible.
Awesome. Amber, Scarlet.
So I am playing Scarlet, who is a changeling sorcerer. She's about average height and typically looks like a human. She wears a long black crushed velvet cloak with embroidery on it, and she has bright red curls that fade to white at the tips, and her hair goes all the way down to her waist. She's pretty quiet and tries to mostly keep to herself, and she's a little bit on the rounder side in terms of body frame.
Awesome. 6, Tom, you're up.
I'm Tom. I'm playing Six, the Dampier monk. He's got pale bluish skin, wild kind of unkempt black and gray hair. He is a former assassin for a higher vampire who had just gone missing. He's not sure where, and he's just trying to be a better person now.
Cool. And last but not least, Tyler with Wish.
Yes, I'm Tyler. I'm playing Wish, a changeling glamour bard, and they are very androgynous looking, but they have a very angular face, like a model with this kind of coif of light hair that fades from pink to bleach blonde to more of a natural brown at the roots. They have wide eyes with irises that are a stunning mixture of turquoises to pinks to violets, like a neon sunset, with full lashes and slightly upturned nose, and their whole face is covered in this very delicate galaxy of freckles. And everything from their, you know, their lips, their smile, to the curve of their jaw, to how they stand, is sharpened with this unnatural beauty. Um, and you can see they have on a brand new set of leather armor with a very neatly organized pack, and everything's color coded and matching, like they literally bought everything they have yesterday for this.
Awesome. Thanks. So, one thing to keep in mind, even though, yes, it does look like we're playing a video game, it's different in the sense that, first and foremost, one person is controlling the entire group. So, in this case, Lillian, Amanda's character, is going to be controlling this. But she's doing this at the coordination of the party. So, anywhere that you're looking at, that's basically where the party is, unless they say otherwise. Um, on top of that, this is obviously like a non-scripted thing. Anything can literally happen. And we'll start. Let's begin. All right. So, um, what ends up happening for all of you is that the gloaming has just gone through and ravaged horrific consequences for all of you. Um, what ended up happening is last night in your time frame at midnight, there was this huge burst of blue bright energy. Anyone that was close to the Mystivalorium, which is the main academy in the Glittering Isles in Arixia, anyone close to that would have seen this huge burst of blue light. And shortly afterwards, everyone went into a mad frenzy of self-destruction. What that meant is that, like, anyone that you were around, um, unfortunately, anyone even within, like, it doesn't matter who they were. It could be relatives, family, friends, strangers. It wouldn't matter. You were unfortunately violently possessed and tried your best to cause incredible harm to that person, meaning you would try to murder them, kill them, or whatever. If you were fortunate enough to be by yourself when this happened, you would then, of course, have tried to kill yourself. Everyone was fortunate enough to survive the 45 seconds that this happened. So, out of the blue at midnight, there is literally a large blue light that permeates the entire like area. People got out of bed and literally tried to kill themselves or others. You know for sure, because of the aftermath of what happened, that this happened to at least everyone that you know. On top of all of that, what ends up being the most dramatic effect is that after 45 seconds of this, and either you know or you know of others who 45 seconds was enough to cause real damage. Many people died during this 45 seconds. Um, what ended up happening afterwards was, even though it was midnight, day seemed to turn, I mean, sorry, night seemed to turn to day in all directions. It was daylight for a very brief amount of time. And then if you were outside, you would notice that there is a now massively large, glowing golden tree that was never there before within the Glittering Isles. This is literally hundreds and hundreds of feet tall. Um, Everyone will have known these things, and you will literally have woken up where we're starting. You have no idea how you got here. Uh, just as a background too, every single group had an easy mode and a hard mode start. This is Group A's hard mode start. So you have no idea what happened. In realistic terms, you've actually been out of things for 3 weeks. You don't actually know this. To you, it's literally just hours after this event happened. You wake up, and we're going to start exactly exactly now. One of the things everyone notices right away is that the air is unnaturally cool for this time of year. On top of that, there is a very strange, sweet smell that's permeating this entire area, but that sweet smell is mixed with something rancid. Um, on top of that, as you start to look around and go through, one of the things that you notice right off the bat is there's a glowing figure. It looks almost ethereal and ghostly off into the distance here. Um, which looks very, very unnatural. But then as you start to like go through and look at the skyline and the trees, first and foremost, you are in an area where you have never, ever, ever been before. Everyone right now is lost. You're not exactly sure where you are, especially from the fact that you can see that the cliffs are above, and uh, you assume that maybe you're close to the college in some capacity, but you're not exactly sure. But the horrific thing is that you notice that there are many, many people that look like they are hung from trees right now, probably not very much alive. On top of that, there's a weird chill. And then the unnerving aspect of the fact that there are these glowing red flowers off into the distance. Again, you have never seen anything like this before.
We are waking up all together in this new place.
Everyone wakes up all together. You're all huddled. You're essentially all huddled around this also unnatural looking golden light that exists right here. This cabin is in complete disarray. Not only are the walls toppled down, but on top of it, there's like this weird damp moldiness to it that you can't really put your finger on. No one was actually in comfortable positions. As a matter of fact, some of you would have been basically laying over uh, these like wooden sticks or so you'd be incredibly uncomfortable when you woke up as well, incredibly stiff. Everyone's kind of just jumbled around as if you were just thrown in this area.
What? Where am I? What's
Oh,
going
my
on?
back!
No, you're supposed to be playing your character right now, John.
So true, it hurts.
Lillian's just kind of frantically looking around.
How did we get here?
I don't think any of us knows how we got here.
Does anyone know where here is? This doesn't. I remember the academy. This doesn't seem the same.
Scarlet?
Six? Where's Six?
I wave from over in the corner, still getting.
You're alive! And I'll give him a hug.
Yeah, Peter, feel free to do a perception check since you're actually actively looking around.
Total of a 4.
Okay. Yeah, you're pretty dazed. You look around. Everything is still hazy. You obviously notice the strange glowing flowers, the fact that there's a natural light. I mean, you're a little used to things being um, uh, kind of like supernatural, like by the college itself. But for the most part, this is all very strange to you, especially after the events of what just happened. I mean, this is kind of a lot to take in for all of you, I assume. So.
I'm going to telepathically link with Ector and just ask him, like, "Are you okay? And can you make sure everyone else is okay?"
I'll look around for a moment because he's a little confused by hearing the voice. Like, oh, right, yeah, I'm okay. Hey, everybody else, is everybody else okay? Hey, where are we?
I feel all right. Scarlet, how you doing?
I feel no different than usual. I I still look the same, right?
Yeah. Here, come on, let's get up.
I don't know where we are though.
Clip, you see anything?
I I can't make heads or tails of where we are. My eyesight's good, but none of this seems at all familiar. And I'm also really wondering about, and I would point at the light in the middle of the destroyed cabin we're in. Like that seems out of place.
Ooh, shiny.
And as you look closer, you realize that it does seem like it's a piece of unnatural sprinted light that looks like it's almost like it's kindling to a fire outside of these um, what look like kind of mundane, just wooden pieces strewn around. You do notice though that there is this very subtle but a natural, almost like calming wave effect that spreads out from it slowly. Um, However, this is an incredibly supernatural event, something that no one's really used to, and it's also something that you've never seen before, anyone.
Because it almost looks like a magical bonfire, but even that would burn, and this is just
It's a
like a
Yeah,
moat.
It's a little too
it,
small to
it
be a bonfire, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
and as you get close to it, you notice it does have almost like a cool, calming effect. There is no heat. That is right.
I wish it gave off heat. It's a little cold here. It was
Well,
warmer the last time I remember it.
I could try to make an actual fire. I can light things on fire at will.
Should we maybe not light things on fire until we know where we are and what's around?
Yeah, I think that's smart.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just trying to help.
Six is gonna take a quick walk around this hut just to like establish perimeter, staying very close to the hut, just like seeing what's around immediately outside.
Yeah, so Six, this is what you would see once you do that. So as you start walking by, I mean, the first thing you notice is there is an ethereal glowing figure that is not moving, that looks a bit unnerving. But then as you go through and look in this direction, you do notice that there is space behind the actual structure, and that looks intact. Um, as you go through and do a quick perimeter search, you notice that this side of the building seemed to spare like the most amount of like structure, which means that the least damage is over on this side for whatever reason. Um, as you go through and look, you notice that there are a couple mundane objects here. There it looks like there's some kind of wagon wheel that was from a cart or wagon that looks like it's nowhere to be found on top of a small step stool. But then as you go through and look, there's nothing else there. Um, you do notice that off into the distance, you can barely make it out. There is some strange stone structure that looks like it has almost like a T or strange like fork thing, but you can't really make it out from where you're at. And then of course there's those glowing flowers. Every time it catches your eye, though, you notice these unfortunate, potentially dead, hanging human-like things
They're
that are
fine.
hanging from trees.
Yeah, once I get back into the hut, I tap my quarterstaff on the ground to get everyone's attention, and then gesture out at the ghostly figure out there that's not moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
was
made a
just gonna
friend?
pretend he wasn't there. Looks scary.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
a ghost.
You want me to shoot it?
Yes.
Can you shoot ghosts?
I can certainly try.
That's
Um,
fair.
I've never shot a ghost before.
But
First time for
is
everything.
it almost looks
I
like a dead ghost. It's not even moving.
As opposed to a live ghost?
Well, yeah, maybe.
How many live ghosts have you seen?
Not none. But I
I've never
bet.
seen a ghost before.
Well,
What about
now you
that
have.
one?
I'm desperately gesturing to Hector to not shoot the ghost.
Can't you telepathically tell him not to?
Yeah, I telepathically link to him again and just please don't start shooting things just yet.
Okay, Six.
If anyone does want to focus on specific things, just call it out, and I'll have you do a perception check, and you'll see that you'll be able to actually like focus and get through it. You just have to make the TC. Does anybody want to like focus on the ghost?
I'll focus on the ghost.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
While
Let's
he
see
does
which one's
that,
your
I'm gonna
favorite.
use my minor conjuration thing to make a small stool and sit down.
7. 3 plus
Okay.
1.
So yeah, so you notice that the ghost has some of its hands like strewn out. Um, but other than that, you can't really make it out. It's a bit too ethereal.
To Ector again, we should probably go check it out.
Okay, 6. And I'll maybe get within 20 feet, and I'll see if I can give it a good look over.
Um, Lillian, do you want to come with them or do you want to stay behind? If you stay behind, I'll control it.
No, Lillian would go too.
Okay, go for it. There are a couple strange things right off the bat as you go to kind of inspect this. First and foremost, it's not just the body that's ethereal. There are other things that are ethereal underneath it and beside it. It does look like it's maybe praying or perhaps even maybe asking for mercy as something were to smite it. You're not exactly sure yet. But it does look like it's reached up into the heavens, but it certainly looks strange, not entirely human.
Hey guys, even the grass is ghosts.
Ghost grass. That's so cool.
Roasts.
Right?
Gas.
I guess while I'm sort of at that 20 feet range, I'm gonna just take a general look over to the sort of like structure over to the left of the well and see if I can see anything.
The
Just
structure
looking,
right in front of us.
yeah. So I got within about 20 feet of it, so
Yep. Do you want to circle it or do you want to do a perception check?
um I'll circle it probably. Like I'll back up 10 feet and then just sort of circle around 30 feet just to quietly keep a distance, but also inspect the area.
Was that an actual wagon, like, in the game?
Yes. Well, kind of. Kind of. um uh, all right. As you get to this point here, you do hear whispers, which stops you dead in your tracks. Do you want to keep going?
No, I will sort of almost roll to the right and hide and see if I
Yeah.
could see where
Yeah,
the
give me
voice.
that's totally fine. Give me a stealth check.
Time for
13.
rolling.
Okay. All right. If you turn your sound up, you'll be able to hear all this too, by the way. But yeah, so as you go through and you start to listen, this is what you hear. You can't exactly make out what some of those whispers are, but it's almost like it's several individuals talking to themselves. They also seem to be maybe in distress, but you're not exactly sure. It could be a symptom of madness too. You think to yourself, but
Yeah, he'll probably go back to where Lillian is and
yeah. So Hector, one of the things you do notice from this perspective as well, there is also a large glowing mushroom off in the distance. Something you've never seen before either. But as you go through and walk around, careful not to get too close, I suppose, to the ghostly figure. Yeah, you come
yeah.
back here. Yep. Okay. All right.
What'd you find?
I found a cart and some shrooms, some glowy things around the ghost body over there. Some people were like trying to talk to me. It was kind of weird.
Ooh, what'd they say?
I couldn't really make it out. You know, they were like really talking like really like quiet like,
Mm.
and it was kind of confusing and a little scary. So I jumped and I rolled.
Yeah, I hear sometimes people on shrooms are hard to understand.
You can talk to streams.
No, shrooms. People on shrooms.
You can sit. There are mushrooms big enough you can sit on.
Yeah.
Wow.
You've never sat on a mushroom before?
Never.
Wow. You're missing out,
This world is amazing. I love it.
isn't it?
Did you actually see the people or did you just hear them?
Well, I heard them and then I just rolled as high because I got scared.
Did you roll into things?
Never. I'm a professional.
Well, because some of this stuff seems like it might break easily, so it might be fun.
I mean, everything can break easily if you're strong enough.
I'm not.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
No.
Wait, you're a professional roller? You get paid for it?
Yeah.
Who pays you?
I went to tumbling school.
You're a tumbler.
Now everyone can kind of hear that soft mumbling. It seems like it's gone a little louder. Um, every now and then you can hear it's maybe crying, maybe not. You're not exactly sure.
Are we actually hearing it with our ears?
You are.
Okay.
Can I pinpoint the direction that it's coming from?
It is coming. You can, and it is coming from the direction that Hector was previously standing in. It's
So,
over in that direction somewhere.
like over by the building that he was over by. on the
Correct.
left.
Where you're looking right now, off to there, past that ghostly ethereal figure, that's where the sound is coming from.
Did you make someone cry over there?
Never.
Maybe.
I mean, not intentionally. There was that one little kid once, but it wasn't my fault.
You have to tell me this story now.
Well, you know, I was on a job and it was kind of really big and scary, and I was really intimidating. I was standing there with my trusty crossbow here, and I was trying to be really stealthy behind this trash bin. And this kid was walking by with like a little piece of candy or something. I went ha, and he went ah, and he cried. And I felt really bad about that for a long time.
Outstanding.
Did
What's the
you
red lights
take
up
the
there?
candy?
No, never. Why would I take his candy? That's so mean.
Yeah, also he probably like dropped it on the ground. Gross.
I know it was a really big waste. I felt really bad about that.
We'll get you some
Uh,
candy some other time.
Wish,
Oh,
go, Wish, go ahead and give me a perception check.
13.
All right, that is enough. All right, so this is what you see as you start to actually go through and start looking at those things. You do notice that they are indeed some kind of flower. Um, that said, it's possible that there's also fruit attached to them, although you're not entirely sure. You'd have to get close enough to see them. Um, they are glowing brighter than anything you've ever seen it glowing before in like natural like senses. So I'm sure you've seen some things that are mystical. In this case, have this very dull like glow, but these are certainly brighter, and it's some kind of just plant, like mundane plant that's glowing. It's pretty off-putting.
Um, am I able to identify them with my herbalism kit or perhaps my alchemist
Yeah,
supplies?
you can totally try. So so what you would have to do is you'd have to walk up to them and either pick some or go through it and see if you can do some kind of actual like experiment with them with your kit, and you can certainly try.
I would like to try to do that.
Okay.
Do you need any help?
Yeah, he gestures like maybe,
Yeah, sure.
and just follow me.
and I'll follow up behind him and sort of stick 5 feet in front of him while he has his back turned and cover his back with my trusty crossbow. Consent.
Are you guys walking carefully, or are you just walking up to it? What do you want to do?
I'm definitely being careful. You know, I'm in a new place I don't recognize, so I'm just by default, I'm trying to be careful.
Okay. All right. So, as you walk up to it slowly, once you get close enough to it, it is very very strange. So as you go through and get to around here, and you start going through it, you notice that it looks like they are some kind of strange, almost bulbous fruit. But that's not the unnerving, weird thing. As you get just close enough to reach out to them, they're giving off some kind of dull heat, a warmth. It's actually so unnerving that it actually shocks you just a bit before you go to touch it, because it's very clear that there's some kind of radiating warmth coming through it. It doesn't seem like it's scalding per se because you did get close enough to it that you can kind of judge this, but it's certainly warm enough that you felt it.
Okay. Um, I would definitely like to collect some of it.
All right, cool. So you go through and you start to take some of it here. You get around like 4 or 5 of this bulbous fruit that you go through it. But this is the thing that you notice. As you start cutting it, when you successfully cut it at the stem, it's fine. But because you're trying to be careful and you didn't notice, if you don't get it right above where the stem attaches, the fruit itself basically shrivels and dies immediately. It grows cold and just falls away. But you're able to get 5 of these by being careful. That's strange. You've never seen anything like that before. The fruit itself is warm and just a little bit hot through whatever gloves or whatever you're wearing. If you're wearing, is it just your hands or do you have gloves on?
He just has hands, basically.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, so you can definitely feel that this is warm. It's almost like it's uh like 10 to 20 degrees over like body temperature. Like it seems pretty warm. Like on top of that, it does seem like there is a very, 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 very deft, small, but very much there movement within the fruit. You're not exactly sure though how to make that out because it's not like there's like a worm or something moving. It's like the whole fruit shifts and moves slightly underneath it, under the skin of whatever the outside of it is. Other than that, though, you can go ahead and start to use your alchemy kit on this. Here's one thing that you do know for sure. Now that you're this up close to it and whatever, you have never in your life seen anything like this. It's going to be very, very hard to identify with the alchemist kit. That said, you might be able to still get some properties from it going through it. So.
Okay, what should I roll for alchemist supplies?
Right. So I think it's just a straight up intelligence check with proficiency, if I'm
Yeah, it
not
is.
mistaken. Yeah. Yep,
Yeah,
intelligence check with if you're proficient in the tools, that is, you get proficiency.
I am proficient.
Okay. Yep. So go ahead and let's do an intelligence check and let's see what you get out of it. You won't be able to actually. Oh,
That's gonna be
well,
a 5.
yeah. So and this is how this will work going forward too. Because you've never ever seen this, you wouldn't be able to identify it outright. That said, there are going to be a couple things you can get from it. So even with the 5, so basically what ends up happening is the very first fruit that you go through, you cut open, it immediately shrivels. You're like, ah, crap. That said, through guesswork, you try some various other things that fail. So first, you tried peeling the skin off. That doesn't work either. But you realize that if you slowly try to drain out the liquid with one of the tools from your alchemist kit that is basically a makeshift like needle that's hollow. You can actually take the liquid out, and it doesn't seem to affect the fruit or whatever it is. That said, you have not tried to do anything like consume this or anything else yet, just because of the fact that you have no idea what you're dealing with. You don't exactly know what it is, but you know that as soon as it touches the air, for whatever reason, it kind of dies and shrivels and goes away. So that's what you get with your alchemy kit. Now, also, what you see is now that you're here, the things that are more noticeable now that you're in this area is there is some strange stone statue thing and then there's just more area in the distance. And as you start to look over here too, you really are like anyone that even really, really knows the area that you were previously in. Some of you must have been like by the college at some point, but anywhere that's off into anything like this, because you kind of recognize these cliffs here because there's only really one section of cliff that is like this, and it does surround the Mystivalorium. But that said, wherever you're at, the vantage point, everything totally foreign. Like it doesn't make any sense. There is a bridge off in the distance. You can clearly see it. There's also this sense of like it's intangible, but there's a sense of sadness and like very low murmuring dread that's going through this. It's kind of getting unnerving to everyone. You kind of feel just a little bit. Everyone would deal with this in varying degrees, but anyone that's sensitive to this would feel scared.
Uh,
Everyone is getting a little bit hungry at this point too, which might be weird to some of you because some of you ate dinner recently, and it's really, I mean, for most of you, you would imagine it's probably only 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, but everyone's starting to get varying degrees of hungry, and that hungry is starting to get worse and worse and worse by the second, as if you haven't eaten in a while.
would I recognize the little stone statue?
Uh, you do not. However, still make a history check for me. And then give me a perception check if you want to try to look at it without going up to it. That's fine. So you reach through it. There
I'll
are
walk
a
up to
couple
it.
different, yeah, there are a couple different statues that could be something similar to this, but none of them really match up. Do you want to just walk over to it, or do you want to try to look at it from where you're at?
I'll carefully walk up to it.
Okay, all right. So you slowly walk up to the statue, and this is what you see. It almost looks like someone has created a very miniaturized, and you think to yourself, like, all the statues that you've seen, they're much bigger than this, even if they're markers, because someone wouldn't want to necessarily like miss this. So that's strange. But then what's also strange is you've never seen, if this figure is meant to be anyone or anything, it doesn't look like anyone or anything that you would have remembered. It does look like someone is either hanging or maybe sacrificed, or there's some kind of like martyrism going on with this strange structure. There's some writing on it that does look like it's foreign to you, and then these strange symbols here at the bottom. Now, as you start looking at the stone, it's very clear that this stone was carved into somewhat of like a bladed structure. It's still stone though. Um, and it's certainly not like it. You realize that it only kind of looks that way because when you get down closer to the seam, it was actually carved this way. It's not like it was stuck in there. Still very strange. And again, this is writing that does not seem like something you could necessarily read. It's some kind of runic writing that you've never seen before.
Um, hmm. Okay, I will relay that to everyone.
Yep. Now, as you're over here, it starts to hit you a little bit. You didn't actually smell this before, but now that you're over here for whatever reason, it smells like rotting corpses. It's just faint, but it is getting stronger, and it certainly smells like there's a lot of death over here. It kind of hits you all at once.
It's not me.
No,
I hear it in my head.
I think I know what it is. I look up.
Do you walk back, or do you
Yeah,
stay
I'll
over
walk
there?
to everyone.
Okay. All right.
Hector, have you eaten one of these fruits yet?
I'm always down to try new stuff.
They were warm.
It sounds delicious.
It does. It sounds like
Everyone is getting hungrier and hungrier. Everyone do me a huge favor. Give me a Constitution saving throw, everybody.
I am going to individually, each person in the party, recommend we don't eat these fruits yet.
Okay. Everyone that got, I think this is everybody, everyone that got under 12, you are now ravenous hungry to the point that if you don't eat within the next 10 minutes, you're going to suffer a level of exhaustion. It comes completely out of the blue, as if you haven't eaten in days. None of you have ever felt anything like this.
I got an 18. How do I feel?
You're shrugging this off. You do need to eat, but it's not like you're going to like starve to death anytime soon. But everyone else that got under 12 feels that way.
Yeah.
Flip is
but
gonna
Rush-
open his
also-
pack and eat some rations.
What's also strange is that no one feels like they've lost weight or anything like that. It's strange. So
I'll walk over to Scarlet and crack open a ration.
so the rations, so everyone knows what they're getting into. The rations, for the most part, everyone who bought rations in the starting goal, those rations are literally set up as bread with a sliver. You get one sliver of hard cheese per ration. It does not come with any meat or anything. It's just enough to keep you alive. It's not the most appetizing thing. It could be worse, obviously. And the bread itself is made to be almost like it's almost like a giant crouton. It's actually a dried bread so that it doesn't go bad. It will eventually, but it doesn't go bad right away. So that's what everyone's eating. It's not the best, but it certainly keeps you alive.
So it's MRE crackers.
Yeah. With you do get hard cheese with it. You do get a sliver of hard cheese per ration, which is nice. It cuts through just the fact that it's bread, and that's what makes it affordable. But everyone's used to this if they've been traveling or on trails and stuff, because this is the most common form of that. But anyway, so
I am very much not used to this, so I'm just choking it down.
Yeah, Actor's pretty much lived on these his entire life, so he's just merely munching away on his hardtack and cheese.
now everyone that's going through, as long as you consume one ration, you're okay. But it's strange. It's as if you had not eaten for a long, long, long time. Everyone's thirsty too, by the way. The rations do, and correct me if I'm wrong in this, but rations do provide water as well. I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure. Yeah, they do. So, with your rations, you do get in whatever consuming rations you've gotten, like how many rations you got. When you purchase them, they came with the associated amount of liquid. So you have enough. It's just water. The water itself always, when you get water like this, it's always from a well. It's always it's like a tad stagnant. You can taste it. Um, Now, one thing that's interesting as we're going through and doing this, you notice that the lighting just subtly changed, as if maybe daybreak is starting. Um, if that's the case, you must have lost hours or something because it's already starting to be morning. Um, but you do notice this. There is a subtle change in the air. There's a subtle change in even like the pressure. It's funny too because for everyone that feels that daylight like hitting through, you actually feel a little better. That scary feeling is going away just a tad. But yep.
So, should we start walking out of here?
I like that idea. This place seems, crazy, awful.
Right. I'll let you control the lane.
So we want to try and get out of here?
It looks like we have up, we have the house, we have across the bridge.
I mean, if we go up a little bit, the bridge in front of us doesn't look like it goes super far. But if we go up and around a bit, we'd at least maybe have a better view of the immediate surroundings from.
Yeah, I might be able to better figure out where we are from up there.
Yeah, I'll follow whoever. Scarlet, you stay by me.
Of course.
Is everybody good with going up then?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, I give a thumbs up.
Should we do it sneaky sneak?
Yeah.
Should
All right,
we,
everybody make stealth checks.
should we take the last of these fruit before we go up?
I don't
Is
need
there
to.
actually more fruit on here, Chris?
There is.
I could take a second to collect the rest of the fruit.
All right, you want to go through that? You take these, and those are the only ones that are within like your immediate area. You take your time. You know what you're doing now. You get 6 more.
I use 6 to need a bag.
Now, eventually you are, because here's the thing: as you start to like carry these, remember, until you said otherwise, you're carrying them in your hand. Now it's hard to juggle them. They're also delicate, so if you drop these or squeeze them and the juice comes out, they're gonna go away.
Yeah, I have 5 sacks in my inventory, so I'll just like pull one out of my bag and just give it to him.
Yep.
Sure, I'll put all 11 of these fruits that I have in the bag.
Great. It does seem like the wailing has ceased, but you're not sure if it's maybe you're just out of earshot. You don't know yet. What'd you guys like to do?
I think we're gonna continue up. And we have some abysmal stealth rolls going on.
Yeah, I saw that. So, yeah, so everyone's trying to stay quiet as you continue to go up.
Are you taking the
Nope.
controls, or I don't know. I was having some weird lag.
Yeah, maybe it's yeah.
Oh, it's just a fucking tumbleweed. 6, you want more fruit? Lillian says loudly after just saying, "Should we be sneaky?"
Yeah, well, that's part of your stealth check,
Yeah,
so it works
exactly.
out. Yeah, that's part of it. Everyone's trying their best, but yeah. So, do you want to try to get more?
Sure.
All right, you go through and go through and start and go through it, and you hear a loud voice off into the right hand side say, "You! I knew it! Get over here now!" It's off in this distance.
Crossbow's
What do you
open. I'm
want to
looking
do?
to see you set up.
Yeah, perception check for me, since you're not moving. It's far away and you're at a bad vantage, but you are able to see off in the distance given that you're now focused. And this is what you see. There is a man up on the top here yelling at you. He does have a weapon in his hand. And it does you got a 23, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you have a great vantage point. So he has this strange what looks like almost like regal banner that he's wearing going through it. You can just see the glinting of this off to where you're at. He's also holding 3 very strange vials. On top of that, it does look like he's wearing colder, like almost like winter, like cold clothing. Um, and even though his voice is aggressive, he has not made any kind of aggressive stance towards you yet, which means that it's not like he's ready to throw these things, and he doesn't have his blade open. As a matter of fact, with the 23, you actually notice that he has more awe and surprise in his eyes than anything else. But it's very clear that he wants the whole group over there immediately. You got a 28?
No, ignore that. That was me
Okay.
realizing I hadn't rolled my divinations, my points.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. But you see this all the way off into the distance. So, and no one has made a move yet. But it's very clear that if people don't move, that he's going to make some kind of action. What would you guys like to do?
Hey guys, should we go over there?
Yeah, if you want, I can kind of walk in the front. And I'm gonna like instinctually pull up my lute to my chest and nervously like strum a few chords as I walk up.
Do you want to actually try to like perform,
Yeah,
or just okay? You do a performance check as we go through, and we're going to walk up slowly. So you're going to walk up slowly to him, then, correct?
nat 20 for a 30.
Awesome. Okay. All right. What do you want to? So how do you want to do this? What do you want to sing or do?
I won't sing anything, but I definitely just kind of want to like because I wouldn't
Is
be
the
doing
is the
something.
intention to basically show that you're friendly? What's your intention?
Yeah, I'd walk up, making my presence known, and not singing because I want to see if they say anything else, but I will be very carefully strumming and playing this very beautiful, delicate tune, and also just trying to draw their attention as I walk up and
Okay.
seem friendly.
So he does ease his guard a bit as he hears this music, and he can clearly see that you're not here to attack him. By the way, as you pass him, one of the other things you notice, you have no idea what's going on with these glowing flowers, but this is something else that you've never seen ever in your life. It looks like it looks like some kind of like large glowing some kind of like flower or almost like lily or something. Anyway, as you get up close to him, um, he and by the way, there is a skull that's literally right on the ground next to him as you're now up here too. Um, he scowls at you a bit and he says, "What the hell happened over there?" He said, and he looks like he's like basically like at a loss for words, and he points over to the shack. He says, "Tell me immediately. What what was that? What happened?"
Well, I was going to ask you the same thing. It certainly wasn't us.
Yeah, well, he walks over and he points to the shack, and this is what he said. No, 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 I saw it. I saw all of you. You just whatever that creature was that came through and attacked you, and it couldn't get to you, and everyone just kind of like stood there and floated in the air and went through things. And by the way, I needed that. It's been weeks, and I don't have a safe place. What happened? How did you manipulate that thing?
Uh, we did what?
He said, "You've been there for weeks. I've been waiting. It's just there's been that glowing thing that was surrounding you, and it seemed like it was dangerous." But he says, "You're not even here for the Uridites, are you?"
No, no. Are you?
Well, he looks over and he says, "Well, uh, sometimes the collegiate." And before he finishes the sentence, which characters here are actually studied at the college?
I studied and graduated.
Right,
Lillian
correct.
was studying.
I
Yeah,
failed out really quickly.
yeah.
Clip was
Scarlet.
also studying.
Okay.
Scarlet's active student.
All right. As you guys all get closer to see through this, Hector wouldn't have recognized this, but as you go through and look at his markings, he has the very, very rare but very, very sure as day secret markings of the Inquisilorum. The Inquisilorum is essentially the side of the school that deals with um, hidden problems within students and other things. Everyone has heard rumors of these people being not only incredibly dangerous, but they're also incredibly secretive. You've heard all kinds of rumors. As a matter of fact, sometimes the disciplinary action that these men and women are forced to do involve things like assassinations and murders. That's the rumor, at least. That said, they're also one of the more higher-ranking people within the college because they're actually free of all laws. So the Inquisilorum is one of the very few sections that is actually run by the actual faculty, and the faculty of the Mystivalorium are also the only other citizens that are basically above all laws, not only within this area but Arixia as a whole. All of you would kind of know that as common knowledge. The thing that's also interesting is you've never ever none of you have ever seen one of these up close, but the banner is actually hanging outside so that people realize it's hanging outside many of the dorms and many of the places where people stay to realize that if you ever see this, that you need to stop what you're doing, answer all questions, also be as polite as possible because it is, I mean, even though it's a rumor, there's maybe some truth to the fact that these people could straight up murder you and you would have no recourse. So they are very, very important within the school. As you all start to realize that and he stops what he's doing, he eyes everyone and he says, "Yeah, well, I can see that some of you are students. Um, so my business here is my own. However, that said, I will need to understand what happened at the hut now."
You said something about a creature, an animal?
He sighs and he says, "Are you going to tell me that you?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "The giant glowing eagle." He says, "Come on. I was just here for the Uridites. However, I may have to make an exception if you don't tell me the truth." Now,
Uh,
the other thing that some of you would notice is that these vials are very, 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 very distinct. You've all heard stories of these because you've seen them in some of the areas of the collegiate where they show like forbidden magics. This is aromancy. Aromancy is not taught at the college at all. You actually have to be part of the Inquisitorum to even learn the secrets of aromancy. Aromancy has to do literally something to do with like perfumes and smells and other things, but none of you really have any idea. That's just the rumor. However, you notice the tools right off the bat. He is some kind of aromancer.
Do we know what Eurydites means?
Oh, that's a great question. Everyone, give me history checks and let's see who knows the most. Everyone from the college, by the way, the DC is lower, just so you know. Lillian, you got a 27, 25?
25, yeah.
All right, so Lillian, this is something that you know about the Eurydites. The Eurydites are a fabled magical race of men and women that lived a long time ago in Arixia. No one's ever seen one. Um, they actually used to thousands of years ago run the Mist of Lorium. They are very thin, almost like pale, and their skin is so thin, by the way, that you can almost like see through it. That's the things that you remember about them. It's there. There's also, given the fact that you have a 25, they're also incredibly frail people. Um, one of the actual curses of these people, the reason why they haven't been seen in a long time is that not only do their bodies fail, but as they become more powerful sorcerers or wizards, one of the things that happens always is that their legs literally give out. So they developed a whole school of magic to basically support their bodies while their legs basically cripple and go through. It's just part of the one of the downsides to this race. That said, no one's ever seen one. They are some of the most capable and powerful magic users, supposedly in like the history books, that Arixia has ever seen. They don't actually exist anymore. If they ever did, at this point, they're more than fables.
Hmm.
Little more than fables.
Well, if he, like, continues to say, like, tell me why you were in that shack, Lillian would say, like, we don't know why we were in that shack. None of us remember. We just woke up there.
And I can tell you're telling the truth, so I'm not going to press this any further. And as he says that, his eyes flash. Do me a favor and Lillian, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy. Ah, that's a 9.
Okay. All right. And he says, however, I can also see that you're not a threat to me. Now, he says, I don't know how you managed to stay in stasis or whatever that was for weeks. And I'm not going to be the one that goes through and gives you a rundown of what's happened. However, that said, stay out of the business of the Eurydites. Let whatever happens happens. Don't talk about this. Assuming society doesn't collapse and we still have the Mist of Lorium to go back to, I don't want to have to go through as my next assignment and silence all of you. I really do mean it, and I know I mean it.
Aye, aye, Captain. And gives, like, a salute.
Do you know where we are?
He said, I do. Um, he thinks to himself. You can tell that he's like weighing. He's like, so much has already happened, and it seems like the world is going insane. So I'll at least tell you this. You're in a hidden village. Normally, this entire area is completely glamored with an illusion. You would never, ever, ever be able to see it naturally otherwise. As a matter of fact, it's surrounded by a horribly acidic, poisonous swamp. And when he says this, all of you now kind of know where you're at because this swamp is pretty famous. You're told specifically to not go anywhere near it because the acidic nature of this is incredibly hazardous to your health. Not to mention the fact that it will eat through clothing and other things. You'll lose limbs if you're in it more than seconds. It's very, very bad from an acidic standpoint. That said, it's also incredibly poisonous. Just breathing in the fumes for more than 5 minutes or so will severely poison you. It's a nasty, nasty place. But you do know that you are south of the Mist of Valorium at this point. You kind of know where you are. What you're confused about until it starts to click in is that naturally this area here doesn't actually look open. This area over on this side, as things catch up, and then as he says that, you can barely make out the college going through it. This is normally just pure stone. You never realized, I guess it's because of the illusion that went down, that this area has always been open. But this has been a sheer rock wall for all of you for as long as you can remember. But sure enough, you do now, off into the distance, now that you kind of know where you are, see the Mist of Valorium itself. Um, uh, so, what'd you guys... Now, as he says this, he stops and he says, all right. He says, so, I will tell you this. Because this area has been glamored for so long, and because whatever happened to all of you seems rather important, and I need to get back and report anyway, I'm going to, until I get better orders, leave everyone here and let you be. That said, you are going to have to leave this place. There's too many important things going on. I can't tell you why I'm here, and I would highly, highly, highly suggest that you do not go over the stone bridge and deal with the Reapers there. They're still working. But if you want to poke your nose in their business, well, I've warned you. And as you guys as he says the word Reaper, some of you would know that there's another not an official arm of the college, but there's an entire mercenary group known to do literally any work, no matter how heinous. That's their reputation, for the right amount of money, and that's who he's talking about. And as you guys are going through, and as he's talking, you can hear those faint mumblings as well, and going through. You can hear more crying and other things. And he said, "Oh, also, if you actually find a Eurodite that's not driven mad, or well, just if you could let me know. I have business to take care of with that. But anyway, you're somewhere where you're not supposed to be, and I need to report back. Also," and he says, I'm keeping an eye on all of you, just so you know. And as he does that, he takes his blade in his hand and he wipes his hand across his blade and cuts himself. As he does that, his blood glows very, very briefly. His eyes again go through and like shimmer, and then he opens up one of the vials. And as he does that, you can see like within him, once he opens up one of these vials, first and foremost, it smells of a hard, like irony metal smell. Everyone smells this immediately. Everyone also has an emotion that's tied to this. The emotion is of like almost like stilled will, of like determination, and then you also feel like you have this weird like sense of falling, but it's an emotional sense of like scaredness as this happens. It's only for a split second, and then he says, this will help me if I need to get back to you. So, are you just gonna stand around? Get out of here.
Well, you did say that there's a bunch of really bad poison around this place. How are we supposed to leave?
He said you're gonna have to figure that out on your own.
Then
You
we
got here,
can't
didn't you?
leave.
He looks at you. He looks at you incredulously, and he says, "But you got here, didn't you?"
Yeah, and we don't remember how. We're just gonna no memory our way back out? We're just gonna fall back asleep and wake up and be somewhere else?
Work. What if we fall asleep?
He says, "Listen, find a cart, do whatever. It's not my problem. I have work I have to do."
Yeah, a cart led by no horses is gonna be super helpful. Thanks, mister.
Yeah, well, someone's gonna have to make a hard choice and sacrifice themselves for the group then. And as he says that, and he starts walking around to go through, he says, "But I really do mean it. I have business to attend to. I need you to leave, really.
Can
And
you
I'm not
point
leaving
us
until you
in
leave."
the right direction?
He says, "Yeah." He says, "Well," he says, "So," and he does walk you over here into this area here. So as you start to walk here, this is one of the things that you notice. Most of you have do most of you have dark vision?
I don't.
I think everybody except me.
And me.
I do not have dark vision.
So who has dark vision? Who
I
has
do.
any kind of?
Flip
So
has dark
Tom does.
vision.
Flip and Tom. Okay.
I have
All
dark
right.
vision up to 120 feet.
Okay. Well, that's enough justification. All right. So obviously none of you actually see this light. This is just the people with dark vision. He's gonna go start through and walk over in this direction here, and he does show you that even though, and as he starts to walk, all of you see this. He says, "Don't touch him, don't talk to him, don't do anything," and I mean it. And you can tell that he does. He seems pretty aggressive. He says, "So look, there are several different ways potentially to get down. You're going to have to just stake out the area, but as you can see, you don't have to cross either of the bridges necessarily to get down. You just have to be careful." That said, you're seriously though, I don't have time for this, and I am incredibly busy. And as he walks over here too, he does also show you. And by the way, you guys notice as well. There are some houses that are all boarded up. It doesn't look like they're easily accessible. And on top of that, this area here looks like it used to be like a makeshift like graveyard, perhaps. Um, and as he goes through, he also shows you that there's certainly ways, if you're very, very careful, to get down through here off the cliff, but you're going to have to scale. You're going to have to actually go back and go through all this. Also, you can tell that across the bridge here, what this is the bridge that he was talking about. There's certainly something going on off in the distance because of fire. But that said, he shows you he says that over in this direction here, there may be a better way. And he walks you back. So you can try scaling the cliff, which seems a little dangerous. Or he says, as he walks you through this area here, he says you're going to have to make do and go through on your own. It's possible, he says, and he says, listen, and I really do mean this, if you go down this area, don't bother the Uridites. Let them just to their own devices. And he says that there could be a path over in that direction as well. But you are going to have to make the choice on your own because he says he's not leaving his spot. He's got some work to do that he's not willing to share with you guys.
Well, we will keep that in mind. How did you get here?
He looks at you and he says, my job is to be here. I came here right after the event, and I have business here that doesn't concern you.
Okay, I mean, you could stay here. I was wondering how you got here.
Oh, you mean how I crossed the poison?
Yeah.
He looks and he says, well, it's no secret. I sacrificed a horse, and I have a way out that you can't take.
Hmm.
But as the thought comes back to you, you realize he did. He literally took a horse through here, if he's telling the truth, and watched it die, bleeding into the ground, slowly dissolving to get here. That's pretty heinous.
Never mind. Actor? No. No,
Yeah, bud.
No, we can't all fit on you.
Aw.
I don't know. Me and Lillian are pretty small. There's a chance.
We are.
Piggyback rides.
Hmm.
Have you been in those houses Is there anything we could maybe use to cross the poison? Would you mind if we went in there?
I would mind. You're not going in the houses.
What about the ones down there?
You said if they're open to you and you can get into them, by all means, I don't care. But you're not getting up here. I have business I'm doing right now, as a matter of fact. Listen, it's clear that things are going on that you do not want to involve yourself in. The more you involve yourself in here, the more I'm probably going to have my next assignment to deal with you folk. I really do suggest that you get out of here.
Oh, absolutely. We want no part of it. We're trying to get out as soon as possible.
Good.
Yeah, no problem at all. Gonna be easy as pie.
Yes, you'll never hear from us again.
I really do hope not. As a matter of fact, you're very, 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 very lucky that something so anomalous happened to you, because otherwise I don't know what I'd be doing right now. You can tell that he's implying that he's letting you stay unhurt because of whatever happened that happened to you, because he needs to report back to it. But everyone starts to understand that this does not seem like a nice or reasonable person. He just seems like he has a job to do, and morality and any other thing doesn't really matter to him. It's very apparent at this point in the conversation.
Okay, well, that was a fun talk. Let's go the other direction and not continue it.
Yeah, I'll let
Yeah,
you
let's-
control, Lillian.
That was Lillian saying that to the party.
No, I'm just saying. Sorry. Yeah, right. What I'm saying is I'll let you control now. Go for it.
Yeah, let's leave him alone. He's very busy.
Now,
Bye.
if you guys do have torches and other things, you can always light them. If you do, just let me know, because there's a visual element to that.
Is it like super dark right now?
It's as dark as it is in the thing, so whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Twilight.
Uh,
You would be able to see much better with a torch if you don't have dark vision, though.
Oh, before we walk away from it, I'll spin around. Have you tried one of the fruits yet? These ones, the glowy ones.
He literally chuckles at you, and he says, "We don't even know what that is." Here.
He doesn't know either, Six.
He
Six
says,
just
"No one
shrugs.
does." He says, "No one does." Right after the monsters and this, and he looks at you like he's incredulous with you even asking this.
I
You
mean,
want a couple? We got a bag full.
you could be the first one to eat one of these ever.
He looks at you. He's like, "You're right. Maybe I should make you try one." And he squints his eyes.
Oh,
Hey.
I wouldn't keep you from a privilege like that. You should really.
He has a pretty high. You can try a deception check, but you can tell he's pissed off at you at this point. He
I'm
seems like a very sharp dude, though.
I'm gonna telepathically link with Wish and just say we should really probably stop antagonizing this guy and just leave. Like
Okay.
I think your abilities to talk to people have diminishing returns in this particular situation.
Okay, but if you try one, just like let us know because it's very interesting. But all right, bye.
What day is it?
So when you guys left last, it was the equivalent of a Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. But he has now claimed that you've been out for weeks. You've been at that in that hut for weeks in some kind of stasis. That would maybe explain, now that he said that and everyone's thinking, that would maybe explain why you were so hungry. But obviously you would have died if you didn't eat in weeks. So most of you at least. So it's strange, but
Alright, so up was a bust. What do we want to try next?
You want to
do
try
we,
that?
you guys can do an investigation check if you want to try to investigate the best way to get down. I will allow that. Otherwise, you just need to look. So
Well, technically, we know the best way to get down, we just don't know the best way to get across. Oh
mean, I can-
my god.
I can spider climb. I can get down there real easily.
Yep.
I just don't want to leave you guys.
I have been rolling so poorly tonight.
yeah, so everyone so now that you've traveled, you know that it's a little safe to go this direction. And oh, Wish Wish. So as a perception check, what are you looking at, Wish?
How to get to, oh, sorry, investigation check. Sorry.
It's investigation. Yeah, yeah.
Could I like look from a distance instead of like trying to like
You
standing back?
can, but it is perception. It's different. So what do you want to focus on with your perception? You totally can. Well, we can use your
Instead
roll.
of getting close to the cliff, can I like stand back and kind of look at the geometry of like the land and the rock formations?
Geography.
Yeah, yeah.
Geography. Well, no,
You
the actual how like the geometry of the cliff faces.
Well, you can if you're looking at the clip faces themselves, and you're squinting to try to get a better look at what we're looking at right now. Absolutely, but you have to give me specifics because all it's going to do is give you a better look in the direction you're facing with your perception check.
I'm just looking to see what like what would be like the most reasonable approach to
Well,
the
yeah. So
situation.
if you're looking across the bridge, which would be a reasonable way to think to maybe get out, as you get, what'd you get a 21?
Yes.
Okay. So as you start looking over here, seeing if this possibly could be a way to get out, you do start to realize that there are a bunch of hanging corpses on this side. There's also something off in the distance that you can barely make out. You're not exactly sure what that is, but there is something that's crouched over there. That said, as you start to look over there, it's very hard to tell right now if that's actually a way out. Um, you'd have to go through and do more digging or go over there to see. But that's what you can look at so far. Um, otherwise, everyone got what, under a 9 on their investigation check?
Yeah, Lillian got a 9.
I also
Yeah.
got a 9.
Yeah. This is a very confusing. This is a very confusing place with confusing geometry. It's not lit well, and it's actually just dangerous poking around too. You could easily like slip and fall where you're at, and you would be falling into acidic poisonous death. So so you guys are taking your time and going through it, but it's hard. There's a lot of like uncertainty around this area.
I see something crouching over there.
There is something crouching on the end of the bridge as you put through, and you notice now that after you've said this out loud to the group, it is slightly moving.
How
With
far
my
away are they?
All the way at the end of the bridge.
I mean in feet.
Oh, they're a good almost 60 feet. It's actually at 65 feet, it looks like.
with my dark vision, can I get a better idea of what it is since Wish doesn't have dark vision?
So the problem with your dark vision right now is that it's being obscured because it's actually it's low light. So it's that thing where like you go through and you look, but the light is interfering. That said, you do kind of see what he sees on top of it, but if it was pitch black, you would have a better idea. Yeah. But one of the things that you notice as you're here now, there's one of those glowing mushrooms. The glowing stuff is very strange for all of you. Like you've never ever seen this, and you're also pretty close to that weird ethereal person.
Six, there's another mushroom over there. I know you like them.
But as you go through and you investigate, I'll do the 9. This is what you would have found as you were kind of being very careful and going through and investigating the cliff face. It doesn't look like this is a good option. This looks like pretty much probably death to try to scale these. So really, your only two options looking at it are there's the bridge on that side, or there's this bridge here. Unless there's a way to get down via the cliff on the other side. You could if you want to, and everyone can see this. So he's up there. You could try to stealth around those buildings and see a greater vantage point, but if he finds you or sees you, you would run the risk of really pissing him off as he's told you not to go over there.
Do I think Wish is mocking me by suggesting I go pick mushrooms?
That is up to you.
I mean, there's definitely like a weird. It's not malicious, but there's definitely like a weird, like fakeness almost. Not like mocking per se, but just like
For the people in low light vision, as you're coming through here, as you know, this is safe. This is kind of what you see over in this to get familiar with it. Kind of at a dead end. Um, you would feel safe enough to go through on this side here too, just to see, and sure enough, it's just bad situation. There is a rock ledge that you could go down to, but even if you got down there, you might be screwed. I mean, you might not be able to get back up. It seems very dangerous. Doesn't seem like it's something that's viable. But
Well, should we like go the way like he pointed out, like that lower area?
Might be worth a shot.
go
I
ahead,
don't
I'll
see
let
any
you-
better ideas.
We need to make a shot. Where?
Are we definitely going down then?
That skull right there. On the ground. You can shoot that.
Aiming. Fire one ready.
3, 2, 1, go!
He shoots.
Yeah, you break it.
Woo!
Ah, still got it. I go back and pick up the bolt.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so that guy's kind of scary. So like, we should probably go somewhere, like, away from here.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
I've got some rope if we want to try climbing down the cliff.
So you would have known this too. How much feet of rope do you have? It looks like as you go through and look at the cliff face here, like you can tell this is a couple 150 feet at least. You're not exactly sure. It's 10, 15 stories at the very least. The other problem is that you notice that it's a damp cliff face, so you will have to find a place to secure it. It's possible probably to get the rope down there, but it's still going to be a little hectic and dangerous.
Maybe we should just go across the bridge.
We could try. Better
Just
than
be
staying here.
careful of the thing that's over there.
It looks like just like another one of those people that the guy told us not to go near or interact with.
And as you start walking, you notice there's more movement now. You're not exactly sure, but there is some movement off into the distance.
Just be very quiet.
Are we sneaking?
I would.
All right, Scott, give me a stealth checks.
Clip
Okay,
got a
so
7.
yeah.
25.
Okay, so what's the lowest one?
7.
I got a
Seven.
7. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. All right. All right.
Ooh, he's saying something.
You can hear the whispers of there. Do you want to do a perception check or get closer?
I would like to try a perception check. I'm just not very perceptive.
Go for it.
I don't know if someone who's more perceptive wants to try. 16.
Okay, that's
Yeah, I'll
good.
take a look.
So you look, and this is what's happening. This man, and then by the way, as you start to look closer, you realize these are probably the Eurydites first and foremost. He does have some kind of like wand in his hand. He is definitely not like walking because of some maybe damage or something to his legs. On top of that, it looks like he's like unnaturally like clicked over where he's just like saying something over and over and over again. Um, almost as if his neck is permanently like his bone structure has now like cranked up because that's the only way that he can see or look. But these are the Eurydites.
But the guy was specifically saying, tell him if we find one that is got its wits about him.
Right. One that isn't mad, yeah.
So we're not supposed
But
to interact with these guys
he
at all.
is talking in some kind of language that you do not know or understand. You can't tell if he's praying or casting or whatever. Doesn't look like anything hostile is happening yet, though.
Do we get the guy?
Hmm.
We should probably leave him alone.
I mean, I have a spell if we really want to understand what he's saying.
I mean,
The mean guy did say to like leave like these dudes alone. So like,
So
he's
just
also
like walk by
blocking
him.
us.
yeah, we should walk by him.
Probably.
Is that just light creeping across the ground, or is that something else?
Yeah, it's
It
just
looks like it is just light. It looks like it is just light. Yeah.
the day-night cycle in this game moves very
Okay,
quickly.
so as that happens, everyone roll for initiative, and this is how we'll go through. Don't worry, you can't actually. Your model can't die here. All right, so roll for initiative, and we get into our first combat. All right, so everybody go ahead and load up Tailspire. All right. All right, cool. We used to actually use this. All right.
He's
so
gonna
let
knock
me,
us off the bridge, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good. He'll be fine. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna pause him. Okay. All right. So. All right. Can everyone see Tailspire? It's a little. It doesn't like being dormant like this apparently, but hold on. All right. So here we
I'm
go.
currently trying to open Tailspire, so give me a little bit.
No worries. I'm gonna summon everyone here too. I knew there'd be a little bit of technical difficulties the very first time, so hold on one second. I'm gonna summon you guys over here.
Are we still in the group A, or is there a different campaign on Tailspire?
It's different. And if you go into the Discord, there's the thing there to grab it. There's a couple codes for you.
Oh, it's updating, that's why. I'm
But,
just gonna be a hot second.
Go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead for now and roll for initiative.
I already did.
And if you guys want to here, I'm gonna summon you so you can see where you're supposed to be. But hold on, let me get you over here. It's actually this board. I have a ton of boards that I created for various things to like represent a lot of different stuff. But these are you're over here where the light is. This bridge here represents where you're at. Everyone's gonna have to be within 5 feet of this square here, and then we'll start. It's actually right here. He does, by the way, get off his first attack. So we'll go through that. But are you guys able to move your miniature? And by the way, for the people who don't have miniatures, I'm just going to assign you something for now, and then we'll get that in. Let's do that real quick. So for the people who do not have custom miniatures,
We wouldn't have reactions yet when he attacks us, right?
correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah, no, this is total surprise. So, but here we'll go through this. I guess do you have Tailspire loaded, Clip?
Yeah, I do. Yes.
Do you want to pull out? Are you able to pull out a miniature and go through it, or do you need me to assign you one?
Assigning me one would be great. I'm not sure on how to do that, and I'd rather not.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Fumble around for a few minutes doing nothing.
Let's go through, and you can see my screen, right? Do you want humanoid figure? What do you want out of these?
Anything that's like a smaller thing would be great for the deep gnome, but I mean, I'm kind of good with whatever.
Yep. All right. So We have something. Let's look. I'll give you a placeholder for now, and then we'll get this going later. All right. So
That
we'll put you in
works
here,
for me.
and I'm gonna get you. I'll get you signed. And then Ector and Six and Wish, are you able to move your miniatures over here?
Yep,
If
I
not,
already
I can
did.
grab them. Oh,
Yep.
awesome. Cool. Very cool. All right. There you go. You should have access to that miniature now. Amanda, for your character, what are you thinking, miniature wise?
What kind of halfling minis do you have?
I'll show you right now. Hold on.
I'm not in there yet. Are you
Oh,
talking about
gotcha.
on the
Yeah.
stream?
Yep.
Okay.
You could just use a
So
wizard and make it small.
yeah, I mean this one's decent. This is a halfling wizard. We can use this one for now. Here, I'll show you. And we'll put you in the thing. So hold on. Yeah, as soon as you're in, I'll sign it. Okay.
Okay. It just finished updating, so I'm gonna open it now.
Yep. All right. Let's do initiative. So this is what ends up happening, by the way. As he was like muttering under his breath, a blast of blue light comes through, and it literally whizzes right over at your character, Amanda Lillian.
Rest in peace, you little shit.
And he does get to go first. And then give me 1 second on the initiative, guys.
Amanda, I told you to stop calling me that.
Never. Also, you never would ask me to stop calling you that.
You do not see. So, can you guys see where my light is? I don't actually see your miniatures, Ector, and
I
Yeah, I see
all
where your
of-
light is.
okay,
I
cool.
see all of our miniatures. I don't know why you can't see them.
Oh, do you guys see them on the stream?
I don't see them on the stream.
Can you call me?
Yeah, that's strange. That is really strange. Hold on, let's see. This
Can you
might be
summon
technical
me?
difficulties. Yeah,
Well,
yeah, I'll summon you. I will
see if
summon
that
you.
helps.
Hold on 1 second. I will summon you. Hold on. All right, so yeah, I do not see your guys' miniatures. Hold on. Let's see what happens when I like click on them. That is so strange. What is going on? Hold on. Let's apply the turn order first. Okay, so hold on. So John. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? I'm gonna clear this. Well, it's all right. We can. It's just the one enemy, and we will figure this out. I'll figure this out going through it. But just out of curiosity, where my light is, guys, are you somewhere close to here? This is an issue with the Hero Forge miniatures. We'll have to figure this out later. All right. So anyway, give me 1 second. Actually, I think let's see.
Maybe check your Hero Forge tab again.
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Yep. So you're all there. See, like I can even replace your miniature. Isn't that wild? See, like I can place Wish down.
I mean, if you just want to replace us, that's fine.
Yeah. Do you guys see double? Do you guys see duplicates?
I see two.
Yeah, we see 2 wishes now.
Okay, and well, we'll try this. I'll put you here too. All right. Are you guys able to move this miniature though? If
I
not, it's
cannot.
okay for now. It's okay.
I
For
am not.
now, we'll go through it. It's totally fine. We'll go through this. So, um, uh, so, he actually puts out 3 bursts, um, of these like darts that go through, um, and they slam into you. They do a total of 6 points of damage into you, Amanda. And as that happens, he's going through and chanting something. But then we'll go on a top of initiative order. What do people roll?
Can you
Flip.
summon me, please?
Oh yeah, I thought I did. Hold on, I'll summon you again. There you go. It's probably something with my Tailspire is my guess, but
I was not summoned.
it
I think you
says
summoned me again, which is I'm Cephas, and I
yeah.
assume
No.
Amanda's
No,
like
It
it,
should have
it
Cleveland.
summoned
summons.
everybody.
It summons everybody. Yeah, it summons everyone.
That's very strange.
Yeah, this might be. We haven't done Tailspire in a while. This might have something to do with like the Hero Forge update. It is strange though.
Begin.
Um,
We're Group A, right?
yep. No, it's in Arixia. It's in the map
Oh,
Arixia.
that's
You
why.
have to use the join. You have to use the join code.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
realized that.
yeah. You have to use the join code or it doesn't work. Yeah. All right, these are definitely growing pains that we're gonna have to deal with. Yeah. There's definitely some complexity with this. So it's all good though.
Is it the code that starts with NZ?
Either of them work.
Okay.
Either code works. When you do the code, let me know and I'll summon you in. But if you can't get in for whatever reason, because it's only one enemy, you can just tell me where you want to move and go through it too. But this is your miniature, and I'm gonna see if I can give you access to it. Yeah, it says you're in.
I
It says
just
you're
joined,
here.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yep. All right. I gave you access. What is the initiative rolls, by the way?
9.
So he got a 16. Anybody get higher than a 16?
Flip got a 20.
All right. You get to go first. Clip. I believe. Did anyone get higher than 20?
Scarlet got a 21.
Okay, Scarlet gets to go first.
But no, I got an 8. I was just
Oh,
trying to get my
okay.
sorry, that was
character
there on
imported.
Arcana check.
Okay. So Clip is going first with the 20.
Well, if he's launched an attack at us, I want to launch one at him and shoot him with an ice knife.
Go for it. Go ahead and roll the hit.
Terrible. A total of a
Whatever it is.
9.
9 hits.
That is very surprising.
Yep.
All right. So he is going to take 10 cold damage or piercing damage, sorry.
So he takes 10 piercing damage. So how do you want to do this?
I mean, I imagine he just attacked Lillian, and I'm just like blasting him immediately with my go-to first level spell.
Absolutely not.
So you basically, oh god, I'll fix this in a second. So you basically go through and you take a knife and just slam it not only into his skull, but it goes all the way through him, to the point that you can actually see the blood start to coagulate. One of the things that's interesting is he actually bleeds white, as this shears through him, and it just completely murders him and destroys him. But it's good we got the Tailspire stuff. We'll continue to do that because there may or may not be lots more combat coming up. So
Gonna just kind of like dust my hands and be like, all right. Thought that was gonna be
but
scary.
it literally sheared through him like butter. As a matter of fact, you've never seen your ice knife go so like through bone and stuff that easily. It's as if he was like made out of paper or something. It's it definitely did its job. Okay.
Well, thanks for avenging me, Chip.
That's what I'm here for.
Like a cold knife through butter.
That's what they say.
Maybe he
Doesn't
had some
that
chef
usually
on
Like
it.
a
not
hot
go?
knife.
Yeah, doesn't a cold knife usually not go through butter too well?
No, because it was ice.
Now, one of the things you notice is that as you get closer, this tree has a lot of bodies on it, and it's unnaturally swaying back and forth. And you actually smell something that smells a lot like like almost like a lavender smell that's sweet. It's kind of the same smell you guys smelled before, but it's pretty strong in this area.
Can I investigate the body?
And I will
Yeah,
aid.
absolutely. Yeah.
I will aid
So you
Sam.
absolutely can. Yep. Now, as go ahead and give me your investigation roll.
Wish, you said you're aiding me?
Yes, I am.
15.
Okay. So one of the things that you notice right off the bat is he has this staff. The staff is made out of a spindly it's almost like a short staff, by the way. It's not truly a staff. It's like a longer wand almost. And it's made out of this spindly almost like tree or vine material. It has a blue crystal on the end of it. It looks incredibly delicate and fragile. On top of that, and that's without like going through and like touching it yet. But as you're going through the body, it looks like he was actually completely naked under his robes besides the robes themselves. And the robes have been damaged by the ice knife, but you could still take them. Now, something else that has just happened that's kind of strange, and everyone notices this. It looks like it's now suddenly become night. There is no way that you have been here long enough for a full day cycle. You don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna try and pick up that wand.
Okay. All right. So this is what ends up happening. You go through to pick up the wand, but it's as if the wand itself is made out of the most fragile like icicle you've ever like picked up. Do me a favor and do a dexterity saving throw to see if you actually just completely obliterate it or not.
13.
Okay. And what's your standard dex score? How dexterous are you in general?
I have an 18 dexterity.
Okay. All right. So this is what ends up happening. So you go through and you realize just as you were picking up that the thing was you can still hear me, right?
Yep, you cut out a
Okay.
little bit, but
Okay. Yeah, that it was going to shatter and break. So it's damaged. It's got some severe damage on the side of it. If you're going to pick this up again, you need some kind of tool or something. It's not completely destroyed, but this thing is impossibly fragile. You don't even know how it's possible that wood would be this incredibly fragile. You don't even know how this guy was holding it because it didn't seem like he was being all that careful because he was on his hands.
what about
Going through it.
the gem?
The gem on the inside, you've only touched the wooden part. Do you want to try to take the gem out?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Okay. So that's easy. So the wand itself just completely crumbles and goes into, but you basically obliterate it as you do this. The gem itself is pretty sturdy. It's a small blue gem, which I'll be able to show you later. It's got this strange like property to it. Only for you to realize that you know exactly what this is because it's got a small blue glow. And as this happens, your eyes begin to glow incredibly like big, and your breath catches because you realize this is mellowite. Mellowite is literally the most valuable resource in all of Arixia. It's incredibly hard to find. The school itself basically designates who has access to this, besides the incredibly wealthy who purchase it. You have roughly 20 carats of mellowite. This would be equivalent to maybe 50,000 gold, easy, maybe more than that. You could buy a small house with the amount of mellowite you have. This is a very rare substance. You've never actually held it in your hand ever. It does have like a kind of almost like a joyful kind of happy feeling as you're this close to it now, and it's pretty beautiful. And it does have a small dull glow of blue.
Do I, as a character, know what this material like does and what it's for?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. I'm not so sure that Six himself actually knows everything that I've been saying now that I'm thinking about it. Have you ever? I don't think you've ever been around the college and seen this used, correct? Six.
No, barely.
Yeah. So this is information that you're going to glean when someone sees you pick this up, if you allow that. That is.
I mean, he would stand and kind of show it to the group in general, just like Look,
And then
this.
all of you from the college realize that that is an incredibly expensive piece of mellow, like literally like 50,000 gold or more piece of mellow white. It's kind of like unbelievable that that was in his wand, but
Yeah, that's worthless. I'll take it.
Six is kind of tossing it around, like between back and forth between his hands.
Like, where did you get that?
That can't be
He
real,
points at the
right?
body.
now all of you realize as you're talking out loud that this is probably not something you're going to get to keep if that guy realizes what you found. The the um, the person from the college, and you're not that far away from him. But all
Right,
of you would kind of realize that, yeah.
shove that in your pocket. We'll deal with it later.
Also, should we get rid of this body?
I think it's a little too late for that.
I mean, we could just like push it down into the swamp, right? Into the poison.
Super subtle. I mean, probably better than just letting it sit there.
Six will
As-
pocket the gem.
Does anyone look back to see what he's doing or any
Yeah.
of that, or just
Yeah, I've been keeping my eye on him.
give me perception checks?
Would this be a disadvantage if I don't have dark vision?
Yes, for sure it would be. Yeah, anyone that doesn't have dark vision because you're peering into a dark space, this would be a disadvantage.
16.
7.
Okay. All right. Who got the 17? Anyone? Okay. Well, that's fine. So, so this is what you see. You can't actually make him out from where you're at, but you know for sure that you made enough noise that if he was interested, he'd already be upon you. He must be busy doing something else, or maybe you were fortunate where the house blocked the light of his spell that he cast. So yeah.
Push him. Push him.
But it looks like for now there doesn't seem to be any kind of like movement in your direction.
Yeah, let's push him off. Let's see how
Push him
big of a
the-
splash we can make.
The other side, though. We don't push him off the far
Show
side.
me. Yeah, go ahead and move. You're gonna have to actually move where you want to push him off and everything. So
Okay, where do you guys want to go?
Go towards that golden tree over there.
The stream is still on Tailspire for me.
oh, it is. Yeah. That's it. Totally is. Hold on, guys. That's why like only Amanda can see this. Hold on. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tom. Here we go. Here we go.
Lillian, did you just kick a skull?
Yeah, why not?
Careful.
I'm being careful.
You
I'm-
don't want to like
You did,
break a
yeah.
toe or something.
I'm being careful to kick it as far as I can.
You shouldn't do that to dead things.
I
No,
probably
as
shouldn't
you're-
do it to living things either.
As you're closer, you can see everything that's hung here. These are the Iridites. Someone's been getting rid of them for sure.
Scarlet, we're not telling your mother about this, okay?
I don't know if I'll ever be able to tell my mother anything again.
These skulls are too large to be human, by the way. They're just too big. I know it's hard to tell from your perspective, but these are giant. These are pretty big heads.
It's the
Alright, so
mellow
we
light.
are dragging the body across the.
It's incredibly light. So as you pick it up, it's falling apart as you're doing it. It's incredibly light. And then as you start walking and you walk over these, to your horror, you realize that you are walking on corpses. These are burned, butchered, murdered Iridites. And as a matter of fact, as you look closer, you'll see that. You will see that that they are they've been not dealt with nicely. They are completely butchered, as you can see.
You could just add it to the pile that's already here.
Do we want to do that?
No. I don't think anybody will notice.
Yeah, probably not.
I think you're hitting forward. Is that
I'm not
you?
hitting anything.
Oh, weird. That is weird.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
my hands are off the keyboard and mouse right now.
Okay. I'll pause it.
See any
We'll go back.
similar staffs on any of the bodies or anything interesting?
Yeah, as we drag the bodies, I'll be just sort of like glancing over the corpses.
It actually looks like, so as you go through and start looking at these corpses, it looks like they've been basically looted clean. Anything that they would have had besides their clothing, they've been completely, yeah, they've been completely, well, wiped clean of anything of value.
Hey, do you guys hear like something crying or?
Yeah. It's that guy right in front of us.
Now, as you look closer, you realize, sure enough, one of the Erudites is still alive, and he is not attacking you. He's crying and looks like he's in immediate distress.
I'd like to try and telepathically link to him.
You can, yeah. How does that work in your description? Are you just able to reach into his mind and talk to him?
You are able to speak telepathically to any creature as long as you share a language. You also learn the detect thoughts spell and can. Oh, that's more of the feat. But yeah, I can speak telepathically to anyone I share a language with.
All right. Yeah. So, what do you want to say? So his thoughts are a jumble of despair. He's basically not even coherently thinking right now.
I
He's just
I
incredibly sad. Yeah.
I don't hear his thoughts unless I cast detect thoughts.
Oh, I see.
It's a
Gotcha.
one-way telepathy.
One way. Gotcha. That's good to know. Yep. Go ahead. What do you want to say to him?
Just you know, we're not here to hurt you. Do you require assistance?
So it looks like he does recognize to some degree what you're doing, but you can tell that he is not in any like he's not in the right proper mindset to speak back to you. So
I say that in all the languages I know. Common,
yeah, that's
Draconic,
yeah,
Infernal, and then Undercommon.
yeah. Does it when you have telekinetic? Did you even have to? Does it actually say that you have
Telepathy.
to know the language? Telepathy? Do you have to know the language, or can you just infer the idea of the thoughts? Does it say?
It says you are able to speak telepathically to any creature as long as you share a language.
As long as you share a language. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You can tell that he doesn't really understand.
Um, I will approach him.
No, maybe we shouldn't.
I kind of like hold up one finger to wish, like 1 moment, 1 minute.
No, this will go great. Don't worry. Everything will be fine.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it.
I'm readying a spell.
I kind of tap the ground near him to try and get his attention with
Yep.
my quarterstaff.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, and he looks up. He looks up briefly, but you can tell there's not a lot of like. He almost looks like he could be mad. You're not exactly sure though.
Mad as in crazy or mad as in angry?
Yeah, a little bit is crazy. Yeah, but you're not exactly sure. But anyway, what do you want to do?
I mean, if he's not attacking me and he doesn't seem to recognize that I'm trying to communicate with him, I'm just gonna turn to the party and shrug and
Yeah.
just gesture at him like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Onwards and downwards.
Yeah, let's see if we can find a way out or down.
Yep. As you start to look around here, as it seems relatively safe, one of the things that you do see is that there is what looks like some kind of like clearing on this side, but I'll let you. There's another voice or something that you hear around this area as well.
We should check that out.
There, to our right, there was a yellow something in the weeds. I would walk over to.
We can go that route. Yep. It's right here.
Yeah, is that anything?
It is something, yeah. Do you want to take a look?
Yeah, I'd point it out.
Oh, now what are you just pointing out to the actual tell me are you looking at the floor in the fauna, or are you looking at the thing in front of it?
I would point to the thing in the corner.
Yeah. Okay. So
I
you're
wouldn't
showing
walk
the group.
towards.
Yeah. You're showing the group this over here. Yeah. It looks like it's another one of the Uridites that are speaking. And it looks like there's another one potentially over here as well. Now, also, you notice that there's a corpse with some strange ethereal thing that's emanating from its body on top of that.
And a flower.
There is a glowing flower as well. Yeah. There's other flowers too and other things here, but
I'll
they are
cut the
whispering if
flower
you
out.
listen. Okay. You can. Are you just going to cut it from the stem?
Without touching it, do I recognize it at all?
This is another one that's completely foreign, as if it's new almost. You've never seen anything like this. And you're decent, like you know your flora and your fauna obviously as an alchemist to some degree, and you don't really understand what's going on, but today you found things that just didn't exist before. But yeah, you can take it. You can take it. So, yeah.
I'll try very carefully to collect it.
Okay. Yeah, you just I need to know if you're cutting it by its stem or you're taking it from the roots.
By the stem.
Yeah, you are able to cut this through the stem. It still glows like a golden like yellow, but you can store it now. You just have to be careful with these things too. You do have to tell me kind of how you're storing them, because the other thing too is that if you just store these in like a bag with everything else in it, or you're putting it where it's going to get damaged. These things are going to get pressed and damaged or whatever. So it just depends on how careful you're being.
Yeah, I assume there's a place for materials in my either alchemist supplies or my herbalism kit.
There's a small place. You have a limited. You could definitely store some of that stuff there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
where
as
they'll
far
go
as
for
like
now.
as far as the softball sized berries though, no. You're gonna have
Yeah,
to keep
no,
those in the bag.
I gave those to Ector.
Yep. Cool. Yep. But yeah, you can store some of the flowers in there for sure. Yep.
Cool.
Oh, what do you guys want to do with this situation here? It doesn't look like right off the bat there's a way down from here, but you haven't explored this whole area.
Clip would be looking at the body with the glowy thing and being like,
Yeah.
I feel like we should check that out.
The actor's like slowly, just like very curiously, like inching towards it.
Okay. All right. All right. So, just go ahead and go as far as you want. I'll let you drive, Lily.
Do we want to try and approach it?
Very cautiously.
I am readying a spell in case we get attacked.
Yeah, I'm holding my crossbow up.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Yep. So, if you want to look at the body, give me a perception check. Or you can look at it as it is. Okay.
17.
17. I'll take the first one first, and then we'll see what else we find. So, hold on.
Lillian's keeping an eye on the beings.
This is what you see. It definitely looks like this is some kind of like ethereal thing protruding from its body, as if like it's a spirit or something. I'm not exactly sure. This is what you see. So the man that's laying here certainly looks like he was some kind of nobility. He has very nice clothing on. That crown that he's wearing with rubies and gold in it look like it's very, very expensive. He does have fine clothing. It somehow looks old, as if he's been dead for a while, maybe perhaps. On top of it, you're not exactly sure. So the interesting thing is that even though he's clutching his chest, it doesn't look like the body has any kind of like stab wound or anything that's there's no blood and there's nothing that's basically torn through his clothes. He's just clutching his chest on here. So not exactly sure what happened. But this you've never seen before. This blue purplish like thing protruding from his body. I have no idea what this is.
We should get his little cool hat and find out about the glowy thing.
Now, off into the distance, someone will have picked this up. Off in the distance, there are these literal giant. You've never seen anything like this. This did not exist yesterday. Glowing protrusions of mellowite, more than you have ever seen in your entire life. You're sure it's mellowite by its blue glow. Nothing else glows like that. It makes that little carrot thing that you have pale in comparison. This would be the entire world's economy looking right in front of you. This is going to shock everyone. Like, this does not make any sense. This was certainly not like this yesterday.
Oh, cool. So it's all a dream. Good to know. Lillian does say that like out loud. Like, oh yeah, there's no way that exists like in actual real life. So this is all make up. This is make pretend.
Now, one of the things that you notice on this side is it's I mean, it depends on how hardy some of you are. You might actually be able to traverse this cliff here. It's possible. Now that said, you can't just jump. You're gonna hurt yourself. But it's definitely the lowest point. With a rope and a good amount of sturdy footing, maybe you could survive this.
Well,
Sounds-
I say we try to grab that headband, see what the glowy bit is, and we can try to climb down. I could also cast Featherfall on some folks. Might make going down easier.
I mean, I
it's
will
just a
tell
shame.
you up front, just because it's so not fair, because there are a couple spells that are a little different here after what's happened to the gloaming. The gloaming does affect flight in sporadic ways, just so you know. Featherfall sometimes works great, sometimes doesn't work at all. Same thing with the actual spell fly. Even actual like transforming, like polymorph is a little weird here. Just as a heads up, your characters do not know this. I just want to give you guys a full heads up because it's just not fair, because again, you're in an area that you don't really know about, and these are rules that don't exist anywhere else in any other campaign setting. So, but right now in the gloaming, things are a little fucked with all of that, as a heads up. Anyway, keep going.
Mechanics wise, what does that mean? Like we roll percentile?
Yeah, so mechanics, that's exactly right. You actually do roll D100 and I tell you what happens. That's exactly right.
Well, I can just walk down.
Yep. Do you want to try that first? Do you want to walk down?
I mean, if I wouldn't want to leave the party up here.
What do you guys want to do?
Do you want to undress the noble?
If I had a nickel.
You don't have a
You'd be
nickel.
broke.
What's a nickel?
If I had a silver.
You'd be broke.
Do you need a silver wish?
I would love a silver. Are you offering?
Yes.
You can keep it.
I always support my local charities, and I flip her a copper piece.
Yes.
Hey.
I also give Wish a silver piece.
Oh shit. Look at this. I'm rich.
That's sad.
I'm kidding.
I don't think you are.
I kind of snap my fingers to get everyone back to focus here.
Yeah, let's let's do some grave robbing.
How do you want to do this?
How
What's,
do we want
what's
to do this?
What's the light coming? Did we 6? Do you know that? Do you know that?
Do I?
No.
Can I investigate it?
Yeah. You want to do like an Arcana check or?
It'd be the same for me either way.
So it just kind of just depends on what you're actually doing. With an Arcana check, obviously you're going through and looking at what kind of magical sources is coming through, if there's spells associated, all that kind of stuff. Investigation is you're literally physically trying to assess what the hell's going on. So it's up to you.
I rolled a 15 investigation.
Okay.
And
All
I just
right.
want to get a good look at it.
Yeah, so So this is so you've never seen anything like this before. It does look like it's protruding from his chest, and it's kind of where he's kind of had his hand at. So that's strange. It does dissipate going through it. I mean, you literally go through and try to like reach out. Do you want to touch it, or do you want to see if it's like something you can actually feel?
I don't want to touch it yet, but if I get my hand near it, do I feel any kind of heat coming off it, or
Nothing. Nothing. Yeah, you don't feel anything. But
um?
this is what you
Okay.
see. This is what you see.
If I very gently jostle his arm, does that move the light at all?
Doesn't. No. And as you do that, his hand accidentally goes through like one of the areas of that's hitting, and it's as if it's not even like physical. It just passes through immediately. The hand passes through
Okay.
the light as if there's nothing there.
Then
It looks like a magic effect. I could take a look at it.
Yeah, I gesture like, be my guest.
I'll make an Arcana check on it, see if I can sort something out.
Go for it.
That is a total of a 19.
All right. So this is not any kind of, you at least do not believe this is any kind of spell after effect. What you actually think this could be is this, for whatever reason, this person's soul is still maybe clinging to like this like mortal plane, and it's struggling passing on, and the only guess that you have is the gloaming has something to do with this effect, but that's it. This would require something like speak with dead or something like that you'd have to like someone would have to have the ability, the proper spell or something to be able to interact with something like this.
I would relate that to the party, just kind of be like mumbling through it and be like, soul kind of thing. Can anybody talk to the dead?
I don't think they'd listen.
I think we could talk at the dead.
True.
Now, as you guys realize, these guys keep whispering and talking amongst themselves. It's a little creepy, especially the one that's perched right above you, but they're not aggressive.
Yet.
Maybe we should take the crown from the body, and that will help the soul.
I mean, it
I
couldn't
mean,
hurt.
there's also like the belt and the clothes, and he's
Yeah.
got a really like kind of nice necklace too. I wonder what his boots look like.
Six is gonna try and move between them and this body and just shaking his head.
He does have a gold necklace, and he also the clothing is fine. It's older, but it's definitely fine clothing. It's moldy and it's a little damp even from being out in the open. The belt looks like it's worth a little bit because the buckle looks like it could be true actual gold.
You know, something.
Are we talking like
Might
last
be
season or
different.
like thrift level?
It's really hard. It's honestly really hard to tell. You think that like so it looks like it is fine clothing. You've never seen any style like this ever. It's possible it is older than like it's possible, but you're just not sure. No one's seen this style of clothing though. Does anyone have any ties to nobility at all? Like, does anyone is that part of anyone's background or anything?
No.
I've entertained nobility.
Yeah,
I've
this is
probably
something you would
stolen
have
a
never
few things
seen.
from him.
Yeah, this is something you guys would never have seen in that case. So
I mean, the cloak looks really nice. I could probably pull that off.
You know what? I think you could too.
I'm
Maybe the neck ruffle. Ooh, 6. We could get to the neck ruffle.
I'm going to telepathically to Hector just say we're not robbing a corpse. Let's leave it alone.
Six
Oh, come
telepathically
on. We do it all the
slaps him upside the head.
time.
No, we're not.
Just the shoes?
No, we're not.
I could use.
I mean,
mage
he doesn't
hands so
need
that
it.
We don't actually have to touch him.
Hector, we're not robbing a corpse.
I mean, the soul is right there. It's not like it's watching.
You don't know that it's not watching. It's right there.
You'd think with evidence of the soul being there, it'd be more likely that it's watching you.
Wish, should I take the crown? Do you want it?
No, you don't have to touch it. Here,
6 says we shouldn't rob the corpse.
I
No.
cast Mage Hand,
Yeah,
and
I have mage hand.
no, here I got it. I move the.
I am going to brandish my quarterstaff at
Yeah,
Wish.
and right before you guys cast Machen, right, and he actually snuck up on you. You didn't not recognize he was coming. You hear a gruff voice behind you, and says, "Wait, before you leave, I have a message." And then he kind of looks around. He says, "Wait, what are you doing? What is that?" And he comes up and starts looking, uh, and
This is
goes
safe.
through. As this is the man you met before, and as he's doing that, he actually doesn't
Mr.
take his
Febreze?
eye. Yes, he doesn't take his eyes off of the Eurydites up top as well, and he looks at you, and he says, What?" And he says, What did this happen?"
We don't know, but it
What
was
is?
just sort of laying here.
Well, this wasn't here yesterday.
We didn't we didn't mess with those two, so you can do whatever.
Are you sure it wasn't here yesterday? It looks really old.
I am quite sure. And he looks at you and he says, I've cased this, and he's like, anyway, see, I told you, if you keep investigating and looking, you'd find a way down. He said, that's pretty safe. He said, hope you don't break your neck. And as he says that, he says, there's a reason I came out to speak with you. I've been informed
Sorry.
that it's okay. He says, I've been informed that you should come, and he says, how am I going to explain this to you? And he looks up and he says, one of the professors wants to meet you. I just don't know how to properly tell you exactly where they are. But he points up to the college proper. He points up to here. So he says, do you see that spire up top there? He says, if you circle back and look at it from that perspective, there is, and he says, he says, I don't even know how to do this. He says, I don't know what she's thinking. Anyway, one of the professors is down there, in one of the structures that's still standing. If you find her, she's told me to have you speak with her. But now that I'm actually talking to you out loud about this, he's like, I don't know how you're going to ever find her. Also, I'm supposed to be helpful now to you, but just so you know, this whole area is laid with monsters. It happened right after the event.
Does
What kind of
Professor-
monsters?
Does the professor have a name?
Literally terrifying monsters. He said he said honestly, they do, and you might even know her, but I'm not actually allowed to tell you anything else. That's why I'm a little confused myself. This is annoying. This is how they all are. And he says something under his breath, that Lillian, you're actually close enough to hear. He basically says, he's basically like damning wizards. He's cursing them. And then he says, yeah, and he says anyway. He says, don't touch anything. This is mine now.
Now,
You're
could
going
I
to.
see his mouth speaking?
Oh yeah,
Like
well,
watch.
you can kind of see his mouth speaking. He always has this like cloth over it, so you don't actually see his mouth physically.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you don't see his mouth physically at all. But as he's standing right next to you, he basically tells you to go on your way. This is his now.
Oh, can I have the cloak?
I think our way was through this corpse.
Yeah, no, do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
So he literally picks the horse up by its like its arms and drags it over here into this direction.
Does the
Unfortunately,
floaty
it
bit
can't
go with
actually
it?
do that. It does. It stakes next to the body, and he puts it over in this direction here.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I can't move it though. But yeah, it does. It does stay on close to its chest. He says, "So."
So?
So indeed.
Do the Erudite seem to react at all to him moving this corpse?
No, as a matter of fact, strangely, they're still just blabbering to them, so they're doing exactly what they're doing here.
Who's got rope?
I do. I also
I
got
do.
something we could tie it to.
After you.
Alright, so I'll pull out a hammer and a python
Okay.
and
Yeah.
start sinking it into the rock.
Yeah, and there's also you can do it into the rock if you'd like, but there's also earth and other things that are close enough. You can see right here that
Yeah.
there's places to really stick it in here if
Yeah,
you
it's
really want
like
to.
whichever I think would probably give us the best anchoring point.
Yeah, it's probably going to be in between the earth and this where you can get it in. So you go through it. How strong are you, Hector?
Not that strong.
What's your strength?
8.
Okay. You are gonna have to make a strength check on if you can secure it into there. Yeah.
All
I
right.
can also mold
Although
earth.
somebody can help you
That'll
too,
help.
or do it for you. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, you could. Does mold earth also mold the stone around it?
No, that's stone shape.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just dirt.
Yeah. He needs it. So the dirt is a good place to get in, but he knows that he needs an anchor. He knows that he's gonna have to drive this actually in. You all know this too from adventuring. You're gonna need to drive it into the actual stone if you want it to be totally secure.
Who's the strongest party member?
Uh-oh.
I have a
Hector.
12.
10.
8.
8.
Okay. 12 might be the strongest. Clip, what's your
Oh
strength?
yeah, I'm an 8. Wizard always dump
Yeah,
stat that
that's
strength.
what I thought.
I gesture for Hector to give me the hammer and python, and then just
Yeah.
help me.
Yeah.
I could cast enhance ability on you. That'll make you extra strong.
That would.
I give her a thumbs up.
Okay. Yep.
So I cast enhance ability with bull strength, which gives advantage on strength checks.
Awesome. Yeah, you feel this course through your veins. You feel pretty good about this. Go ahead and hammer it in. Let's
It's gonna be a straight
see.
strength check.
Yes, straight strength dash with advantage.
21.
Yeah, so you hammer this thing in really, really well. First it gets into the earth, but you can not only do you hammer it into the stone itself, but you find a way to do it at an angle which truly anchors us in. This is very secure now.
Amber, Scarlet would see Lillian looking at Scarlet like jealously for just like being able to help specifically in that situation. Like looking a little upset about it.
This is the very first time. I imagine this is the first time you've had the spell on you too. This to you feels awesome. You're like, like this is really, really helpful.
Yeah, 6 like flexes and gives her a thumbs up.
Yeah.
She just kind of like claps and looks really pleased with herself.
I pat her on the back.
And I'll pull my 50 feet rope with a grappling hook attached, and
50
Okay.
feet is just about the length. There's going to be a little like that's off, but that's all right. Yeah. Go ahead.
so I'll take the 50 feet rope with the grappling hook attached and drop it down the cliff face.
Who wants to go first?
I mean, if nobody else wants to go, Lillian would go.
All right. So because it's secure, what's your dexterity overall, by the way, Lillian?
14.
Okay. Does anyone have a dexterity under a 9?
I've got a 10.
All right. All right. So in this case, everyone can make this down pretty safely. Everyone's going to take their absolute like most careful like thing doing it, and people are going to help them. I assume. Is that right? People are going to be like cautious and like stay underneath them, and everyone's going to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just kind of walk down the cliff face,
Yeah.
so I can
you can go
literally
first.
hold people as I'm walking down.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make
Not
sense.
carrying them, but like steadying them on the rope.
I know what you mean. Yeah. So everyone's able to safely come down here then. So
You can
And once we're all done, I'll try to jiggle my grappling hook and rope off the python.
I can also walk back up and get it.
Yep.
Try to get the python too.
You can carry
Yeah.
me if you want, 6. I was being polite before.
Can I
Yep.
pull the python out of the out of the rock?
Try. You can try. Go for. Oh, well, actually, how long does the enhance ability last for?
An hour.
So yeah, you can easy. You don't have to make a check. You can easily do it with enhance ability.
Okay, I walk back up, get the grappling hook and the python, and then walk it back down, and give it back to
Yep.
Ector.
Yep. Now, as you guys get down, the thing that kind of washes over you is that the mellowite there. You've heard, everyone's heard stories about how nobility will actually buy this as well, and the reason why they buy it is because it gives you a sense of, like, it's got like this weird curative property where it kind of almost enhances your life in the sense that it helps you like live a little longer. On top of that, it's actually rumored that it can do things like cure normal diseases and cancer and other things. And it's weird because at this, with this much this close, you actually feel like any kind of element that you would have had as far as like any kind of like sniffle or sinus or anything, it would be gone at this point. um and you feel good being this, even this close to these giant things of mellowite. It's, plus, I mean, to any of you, this is literally just all you can see is kind of the money as well. I mean, this is unbelievable wealth you're looking in front of. So
Yeah, but this is all a dream, so wealth doesn't matter.
Just in case, we should maybe check it out.
Oh yeah, maybe like take a couple pounds worth.
I
Mhm.
definitely think we should get pieces to carry in our pockets to make us feel better.
Yes.
She's got the right idea.
Happy stones.
let you guys drive. Go for it.
Sorry,
Mhm.
I always have to click back in because I try to keep out so that I don't mess around with while you're moving it.
No worries. Yeah.
We want to just go straight for the crystal.
Well, hold on. Be careful. Move quietly.
Don't worry, the monsters are in the crystal.
Well, then we'll see them before we break the crystal open.
When I say in the crystal, I mean in the middle of like the structure, not like actually inside of the crystal.
Ooh, like frozen in the middle. Like
No,
Are we
like
doing this
standing
stealthily?
there.
Yeah, go ahead and do stealth checks. And on top of it, you notice that there are more of these glowing flowers around the mellowite. And as you start looking, yeah, that's good. We just need to, I need to know the lowest one. As you start looking through it, yeah, this is literally unbelievable. Like, this just isn't real. Like, there's mellowite just growing out of the ground. Doesn't make any sense. This is the most powerful natural resource in Arixia. The reason why it's so coveted is because the rumor is that mellowite is actually a source of raw magical power, and with enough mellowite, you can literally change spells, like do all kinds of things. Like it's unbelievable that it would just be out here going through it. That said, it's also rumored to be, once you start breaking it down, incredibly dangerous to deal with. You have to be an incredibly skilled mage in order to use mellowite to its full potential if you start breaking it apart. Even faceting it is hard and dangerous, but what would you like to do?
Do we think we can like harvest some of it? To
Probably, yeah. There's smaller crystals and stuff that literally looks like they're going underground. Plus, on top of it, it's actually sturdy enough that if you were to break it, that doesn't necessarily count as processing it. Um, if you were to essentially try to like hit it in a way that it would fracture, then you start to process it and you can run into problems. But just taking it out, no, you could probably grab some if you wanted to try.
I would
Matter
like
of
to
fact,
try to grab some.
okay. So
There's also
there's
one
smaller.
bug.
That's right. So that's what I was about to explain. So as you start to go through and look, Lillian points out the fact that there is some kind of like firefly, very large firefly or something like that in between all of this.
Uh, does anyone recognize it?
Yeah, I think it's a
It's
firefly.
it's foreign. It's huge. It's too big to be a natural firefly. No one's ever seen anything like this before. It's something really, really big. Perception checks.
Clip got an 18 on perception.
Yes, Scarlet
19.
got 23. So
25.
yeah, so this is what you see, Scarlet. So the light is unnaturally bright. Like you've never seen a firefly with this kind of brightness. Um, it is some kind of almost like beetle. It's definitely green. It's got some markings on its back. I mean, this thing is huge and massive. You're not sure what this is. It's kind of beautiful in its own way. It does have some spines on its front legs, as you can see. You don't even know if it's aggressive, if it would bite, or if it's completely harmless. But yeah, it's you've never seen. No one has ever seen anything like this, though.
6, you should pick it up.
I want to try to pick it up with Mage Hand.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh, I have a
So
bottle.
okay, so you do pick it up with Mage Hand. It does react with its front legs as if it tries to like stick you with them, but it can't because it's going through it. But it's light enough that Mage Hand does actually work. You would have to put this in a bottle if you don't want it to kind of get you.
Would it
That's
need
the
like
only
a
way.
full bottle, or would a vial work?
No, you need a full bottle for sure. You need like a jar for this thing. You need some kind of jar. This is big. This is the size of like it's not as it's actually longer than a baseball. So this thing is big.
Ooh.
It's very 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 big for a bug. Like I know it's hard to see scale because there's no actual character model here, but this is big. This is definitely big. Here,
I
I'll
pull
show
out my
you
hooded lantern.
I have an
yeah,
iron pot.
yeah, here. Let me show you this sword for reference. Like this is a sword, right? That's a giant bug, if you can see. Yeah.
I
It's
also have a
giant.
glass
I
bottle.
can't
on
see the sword.
Oh, you'll see it in a second. I'll leave it out. Yeah. It's behind, so.
Crunch.
But once you see that sword, I mean that is a giant bug. That's like the size of a Coke can. Or a little maybe even a little bigger than a Coke can. That's big.
Would it fit in a hooded lantern?
A hooded lantern. It would if you could get everything out from like in the middle of it.
Yeah, I ditched the candle outside of it.
Okay. You can. You're not exactly. It will definitely fit in a hooded lantern. The thing is that for it to not fly away or escape, you just need to figure out how to secure it. But sure, if there's a latch, that's fine. But
Yeah,
there
there's
could be a
usually a
latch.
latch.
Yeah, there could be a latch. So, as you can see, there's like smaller pieces of this. If you guys want to like pick up smaller pieces, you'll be able to. Um, any of those larger pieces that I freed though, those are heavy. Mellowite is also unnaturally heavy. You'll really start to realize this when you start getting bigger pieces. So one of these like one of this piece right here is about the smallest that you can pick up of that right there. That's going to be a full 45 pounds, which is really heavy for something that size.
I'm gonna go sit down in the middle of all the crystal, like where the bug was.
You can sit down in the middle of it. It's so the crystals are sharp, for the most part. But you can sit down if you want. You just have to be really careful.
I will avoid poking myself.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to
that's
like
fine.
get in proximity if they all feel good.
Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah.
So we can't really see any like individual piece that's like smaller than that 45-pound one.
Do an investigation check. There's probably are. It's just you're gonna have to do an investigation check. Go for it.
I got a Clip got a total of a 12.
I got an
Okay.
18 to look for
Ooh,
a
9.
small pocket-sized piece.
Yeah, same.
Okay. So after everyone who got an 18 after scouring this, there are 3 pocket-sized pieces that are about the size, a little smaller than your hand, that you can actually just take from the ground. You don't even have to worry about like breaking anything, and they're complete. There's so you can grab those if you want. You would
Clip,
both find these about the same time. The people got the 18. You both discovered this around the same time. They're in the middle where Wish was going to go sit. They're around there.
That explained why Wish found them.
Scarlet, do you want mine to hold on to?
Do you want me to hold on to it? I found my own.
Oh, I'll hold on to mine.
If they found 3 pieces, Lillian's gonna try and find his own piece.
Well,
Yeah.
so what I was about to say is that with an 18, there's only 3 that's around that size throughout the whole thing.
I
Yeah.
had him make his own investigation check.
Yeah, you would go through and look, but what I'm saying is that everyone who found an 18 is finding these at the same time. There's only 3
Okay.
total at that size. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that Lillian would have found the third piece with his 27.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it
Yeah.
was
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Scarlet, Wish, and Ector.
No, Ector only got a 9. Ector's like frantically looking around.
Yeah.
Can't find anything.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
There's other crystal structures, as you guys can see, but yeah.
that was a waste of the only nat 20 I got tonight.
No,
Yep.
we got
The only-
riches beyond our
Now,
wildest
any kind of actual element that you've had, like a long-standing injury, back injury, or anything like that, this would start to feel better. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily healed. You might need more time, but it would certainly, any kind of anything like that would start to feel better. As a matter of fact, anyone who has any kind of long-standing injury, like an injury where you broke something a long time ago, it healed but never right, you would feel better.
It's magic ibuprofen.
Yeah, you would definitely feel better.
It's a solid icy hot.
You should take one of the big ones and grind it down into powder and eat it.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Snort it. I
Yeah,
wonder
there
what
you
this
go.
stuff
Once
tastes
again,
like.
I
Don't
telepathically to Ector, I say no, don't snort or eat any of this, please.
But it's so pretty.
What do you think this stuff tastes like?
If it cuts you, it will heal
That's a good
you.
question.
It will heal you and cut you at the same time.
It looks like it tastes very blue.
Oh, that's the best flavor.
Lillian, I think you should just lick it.
Yeah, like
Okay, I lick it.
All right. So as you lick it, it does actually have a small electrical feel to it. It really actually has some kind of reaction. But one of the things that you noticed after you licked it is that doesn't really kind of like go away after you've licked it, and your mouth now feels like tangy and staticky, but also metallic, and it's lingering.
Well, how'd it taste?
Electric. But I imagine he's saying it like electric. Like he's lost control of his tongue. It's very numb right now.
All right, it's 10:30, guys. So we'll stop and pick up right from there next time. And we'll continue to go through. I'm actually surprised you haven't done anything super dangerous yet.
I just
Very
licked
surprised.
the magic rock.
Yeah.
That's not dangerous.
Yeah.
we found a lick.
This whole thing is built to be incredibly dangerous, and so far we've gone through a session where it's like not so bad. So it's good. Good job.
Don't
Well-
worry.
well, the one g-
Once we run into the enemies that I'm sure are nearby, it's going to be a great time.
So far, the one enemy we ran into was fairly easy to deal with.
Yep. All right. Cool. Hold on one
Yeah.
second.
We found a bug. We killed a guy.
All right.
Like the rock.
Yes, we have a bug and a lantern now.
I'm ending the stream. I'll look at Tailspire to see what the heck that was. That's so strange. I don't know how I wasn't able to see the models, but you guys were. That's so weird. It must have something to do with the Hero Forge stuff. But cool, yeah. You'll see that as we get into the actual like quest part and we go through things, this is a little more. Believe it or not, it's actually a little more dangerous, if not a lot more dangerous than like the other campaigns that I play, just because of the fact that there's so much that can kill you and so much around that will kill you, and if you're not careful, you'll like basically like impact like a situation where like you'll run into one thing, run into another thing, and then you're really dead. So but other than that, I mean, it's the only big difference is that everything is visual, so it's a little better if there's like lag time. Like for instance, I'll give you a great example. This session, we really actually didn't do very much at all. That said, I think it was decently engaging, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we can see everything. So
Yeah.
so, yeah.
It's just fun.
Cool.
I
We
like
Awesome.
talked to a guy. We climbed down a ledge.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened this session. We went in, we found some flowers, we talked to someone who wasn't very nice. We found some corpse with a glowing thing. We got down to the side of it, and then we found some big blue glowing crystals.
We
But even
talked
then,
to the same
I
guy
do.
again.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, there's you guys are also doing what you're supposed to, which is being careful. I mean, this is you'll see. It gets out of hand quickly, but
Yeah.
cool.
Well, thank you very much.
And yeah, yeah. And like I said, there's like nothing happened this session. So when things really start to happen visually, it's fucking awesome. But yeah, literally almost nothing happened. So yeah. And you'll see. It kind of looks like you're out of the poison area, which you kind of are, and then it just gets bad. But we'll see. So cool.
Yeah, good to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.